Splendid. Looks like we're live.
We're live! Oh my god, I can't believe it, Artie. We've been unfrozen yet again for another episode of Artie and Fist. Artie and Fist, Artie and Fist. I can tell you now that the moves are extremely pissed, mate. Oh, it's been
chaotic.
Before we get into it, I just want to do a little bit of an update. As you know, Artie, after I got into a bit of a trouble, with RV Lieberman and that high interest loan, I had to do that series of like 20 gay porno films. Now that wrapped.
You didn't have to, but go ahead.
Well, yeah, look, he was very persuasive. Okay, right. So anyway, that series wrapped with the very well received Harry Potter and the Anus of Fire. Right, it was truly a tour de force, right? But
I'd watch that for the story.
Oh, it was great. It was great. It was really, just like the script writing, and the fisting coordinator was really, really excellent. But now it turns out that even though I was paid for those films, due to the sort of stipulations of the contract, I actually owe another 500,000 shekels. I can't believe it. So I've basically had to volunteer for biological weapons testing, which is why I've been a bit sick recently. But it's all for a good cause, and I have been assured by RV that this time this will absolutely pay off all the loans that I've taken out, and that I won't be launched into yet another sort of like demeaning job in order to make up the difference. So I just want you to know. It's all very, very ethical bioweapons testing.
Yeah, what reason do you not have to trust Avi at this point,
Well, exactly, right? It's very, very ethical. The bioweapons are only going to attack like people with the wrong ideologies. I tried to figure out what ideologies they were, but they just told me, don't worry about it. It's all ethical, organic, 100% locally sourced. So if you've been sick like in the last week, you've got me to thank for it. That virus that's been going around is basically my child. I'm so proud. I'm so proud.
People should know that the last 2 videos I released, I've been battling a sinus cold that's on the tail end right now. So I've been able to edit around it. So I'm going to be really utilizing the cough button a lot. It's very dry. Had a lot of nosebleeds in the past couple of days. So I'm going to try. So just so you guys know, I know this is uncharacteristic, but tonight I might be like a little loopy and boisterous, okay? So I hope that doesn't change how I normally am for you guys.
Well, look, if you didn't want to get sick and have this nosebleed, right, have you considered being a better person, Artie? Right? I have it on very, very good authority that this virus only attacks people who have the wrong opinions, right? So what you need to do is shape up, fly right, get with the program,
I know, but look at how far being a piece of shit has gotten me, though. I mean, it's really hard to do anything different at this point, So I'll take it under advisement, but not a lot of motivation in this scene to do so.
My God, fucking mate, it has been a week. Just my links file for this show got to 5 pages. Right, there was entire stories we basically had to drop. Things are moving so fast. There was a whole thing on like the Heritage Foundation that's still going, but it seems to have come back in a loop. If you can believe this,
this is including us doing an emergency stream, by the way. That was including us doing a second stream in the week, so that's how much is going on right now.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so if I hadn't been ill, we probably would have had to do a second emergency stream. If you can believe it, right? It's such an emergency.
This is from an hour and a half ago, fellas, just so you know, okay? Oh, my God, mate. Waffle, as always. I told him not to, but he doesn't listen to me.
Waffle, look at him go. He's spreading memberships everywhere like some kind of crazed masturbator. Look at him go.
Thank you, man. Very much appreciated. People really, I just like the idea of someone just coming in to check out the stream, and then all of a sudden they have a hard R membership. They're like, "What's going on? What am I enrolling right now? What is being foisted upon me?" So I really, really appreciate that unpredictability aspect.
You have been blessed with the hard R fellowship. Oh yes, the fellowship.
Yeah, I just don't know how to end it.
Why have we not thought of that? The fellowship. Oh my God. the quest of the one nig. And also, Dillybod, first super chat of the night. Thanks very much, Dillybod, for 10 US Federal Reserve dollars.
Thank you, mate.
Why are we elevating Nikki Gay Couch Fuentes? Daddy Jim is very disappointed in you rhetorically. Oh,
well, disappointed me. He's looking to sue Vish Bora as of less than 2 hours ago. Okay.
Yep.
He is looking to pursue legal action under Title IX.
No.
Now, mind you, Vish Bora didn't create anything. I hope you know.
he's just trying to get him fired from OAN, right? Like, I mean, this gives the whole thing away, right? OAN's Vish Bora, shout out to Vish. Matt Gates' scriptwriter and handler. Oh, I didn't know that Vish was handling Matt Gates. Oh, there you go. You know, he's probably got like nice, soft Indian hands. You know, it's probably quite a pleasant experience. Has severely crossed the line. He's crossed the line. Somebody stop him. Calling the Jays vermin, accusing them of scheming, identifying them as roaches. He's destroying in the name of America first and America only. He's deleting now because of the huge legal exposure this puts OAN and him into. Every Moorish employee at OAN now has standing in a Title VII, not Title VI and Title IX suit they could file. At least unless OAN handles it, perhaps more. See, he wants to get Vish fired.
Yeah, but how? So this is the issue that a lot of people in the Nick Fuentes camp and you know, just pro-whites in general have, where the things that have been said about white people in the past decade, okay, we don't have this like protection against our race. But all of a sudden, if there's an insinuation that it's to the moose, then all of a sudden they're extra protected. That's the issue that we have in this entire thing.
But also, right, like Vish is brown. Okay, so which takes precedence? Vish's brownness or the people that he's he's attacking? I was also named by name.
Like, yeah, that's what being named is. How else would you be named?
As opposed to being named by a stupid meme. Along with my friend Susie, yes, your good friend, Vish has been targeting both of us with a very specific harassment for long enough, clearly enough that there can be no doubt to whom he is referring. This is also actionable. Now, just a bit of background. What's going on is that Vish has been basically saying that Susan Edelman is behind the attempt to cancel Kevin Roberts at the Heritage Foundation. I had a whole story on this, mate. I had links out the wazoo, right? Like, no. But no. We dropped it because everything's been moving so fast. But just as a quick update, the canceling of the Heritage Foundation is still going on. The attempt to purge Kevin Roberts. Kevin Roberts, is that his name? Roberts, the head, has still not stepped down. An incredible indictment. How dare he? How dare he? I mean, are we allowed to? Oh, and not only that, this cartoon we're referencing is made by a friend of the channel, Sniper Anon.
Yes, for probably over a month now, we just call them Sniper Anon. Now, this is a very untimely time to have the shape of a sniper rifle as your handle when you have the faux offended Lindsay-ites on your tail, thinking trying to figure you out, man, trying to see like, ooh, what's this account all about?
I don't. Can we? Should we even play the cartoon if all this is going on?
We should.
Okay. So of course we do not endorse, but this is.
Hey, don't speak on behalf of me.
This is the cartoon in question. But made by Sniper Anon. Enjoy.
Susie, James, I know what you're up to in there. Open up. It's America first, America only, bitches.
Wow, dude, we should hang this black guy from a tree, okay? We need to do something about him. We can't have this going on in society. Surely we haven't seen anything worse from the left in the past few weeks, right?
And now they're going after Sniper Anon. Look at this shit. This is the account that created the anti-Semitic cartoon Vish Bora posted on both of his threads to Susie Leibowitz. I assume the cyclone emojis indicate a QAnon, not a sniper anon. Is that true? Are the cyclone emojis telling us to trust the plan, bro? Or is it some kind of like weird Gnosticism?
And why do
QAnon
you assume that, Jason Hart? Why would you assume that? It must be something dubious.
QAnon or not, this person is a psychopath. I mean, clearly, right? Like, who else but a psychopath would make fun of people in this way?
We talked to Sniper Anon privately, just to toss around ideas and like look at different AI things that they make. A painfully normal person that's just really creative and funny. It's just Sniper Anon is just like any one of us. Now, really, we talked about behind the scenes.
Now, Sniper Anon hits back. Talk about misrepresenting. The video you took a still from is about false flags. How is it? How is it antiseptic to call people scheming on behalf of a foreign nation? Is James Mooish, and he then retweets.
I love how they said cockroaches, and I love how the moos are like, "Hey, that's our word." Hey, that's us. Like, hey, that's if you want to say that, fellas. Like, hey, fine.
Mark Levin has been saying it about his opponents.
Oh, yes,
but I guess he's got like title whatever immunity. Hang on, we got a few.
But they are cockroaches, so they can say it. It's N-word rules.
Big time for $10.
Thank you, mate.
Kissin told a victim to her face that her people can't collectivize and protect their women and children. Pinochet one-way ticket. Anyone? Yeah, that was a terrible clip of Kissin doing that. Like, my God, honestly.
So this is an alley-oop, okay? That was the pass in the air, and now what's the next what's the next super chat?
The ghost of Pinochet has been summoned in the chat. My God, for $5. Thank you very much. You rang Pinochet one-way ticket. You say,
bro, how is that even possible?
This is the kind of chat we've got.
Is there colluding going on in the background in this chat?
I don't know, mate.
That's serendipitous.
Do you think somewhere there's like a secret group chat of the people in our chat organizing? Right? Like, oh my God,
scheming, plotting.
Scheming, even. So we're gonna start. Oh yeah, right. No, so like, look, Stop Anti-Semitism has gotten in on this, right? So this is a coordinated thing against Vish. Yeah.
You see, they're not trying to cancel people, okay? They're all for having a conversation, okay?
Yeah.
Except if you make a joke about a moo, that's like making a joke about a trans person. That's like making a joke about a black person, about a gay person. Do we see how this is just the same exact thing as the left yet? If there's anyone listening that's still skeptical, do you see how it's the exact same thing where everyone gets a protected class except for white people?
Actually, Artie, just because the left misuse these gatekeeping powers doesn't mean that we don't have to call out people on the work right.
Yeah.
These powers need to be preserved domain for a very, very specific group. And the fact that they were like normalized and became part of the political landscape and was usually, no, there's nothing to do with us. Okay, right? But we must still have the power, of course, to destroy people's lives. How else are you supposed to preserve the First Amendment? Wow. So really, right, have you considered just shutting the fuck up, or we're going to sue you and ruin your life?
It's like a 3,000 year superpower you have. You can just rationalize anything away.
So we're gonna start with a bit of Lindsay retardation.
You don't say.
As we like
we're
to do.
We're gonna start with Lindsay anyway. By the way,
I mean, he is the eternal giver. His milky udders just pour forth, right? Like any single week, you can just go onto his timeline, and there's just like more stupidity. Right. So his latest pivot is basically saying that anyone who questions America's relationship with Israel, and most especially, right, like, if you're basically saying, like, really, should America go to war with Iran? I mean, Lindsay's not going to be on the front line, right? Like, none of Mark Levin, none of them are going to be like, in a desert getting their like faces like shot off.
Really? You don't think Mark Levin on the front line would go, hey, yeah, here we go. I'm going to shoot another one. Yeah. Like there's nothing more anti-Semitic than his real actual voice. It's very rodentian, let's say.
He's like a living, walking stereotype. Which reminds me, when I see stuff like this, of that study that they did, where they discovered that stereotypes are actually the most accurate way of generally determining populations, and that most of them are, like, generally speaking, accurate. This was quite funny. A guy called Ben Luigi pushed back at James's assertion about the nation of immigrants. We covered this exact thing on our stream about the community, the CRS, right? About the nation of immigrants, where it came from. It was a book written by JFK and funded by the ADL in 1964. This is true. America is not a melting pot. That term was invented by Israel Zangvili in 1908. And this, James, of course, with an incredible riposte. I mean, oh, mate, one of the things I love about James's tweets is the way he just comes in and he just destroys with facts and logic, right? Ben Shapiro wishes that he could be of the caliber of James Lindsay. Okay, Ben, Jewish name. Luigi, Italian name. To which Ben Luigi comes in. Benjamin is a Christian name. Yes, it is. And my real name isn't Luigi. I'm Germanic. I literally have blonde hair. Also, is this you? Now, just check the ratio on this. 218 likes on Jimmy Concepts post, 3.5K.
Dude.
As I say there, according to the ratio, Vox Populi, Vox Dei.
He has been getting his asshole blown out more than you have in your repayment to Avi, okay?
Oh,
he has been getting absolutely blown out. And there's no shame. Like, you can really tell in the past, like, 2 months, it's been a sharp shift into how mooish he's gotten. And since Israel, it is like he went into a chamber and emerged a different person.
It has actually affected, like, the entire way he argues now as well, right? Like, he just basically argues. Like an Israeli, like, never addresses the central point, guilt by association,
no sense of shame. Doesn't matter how many times he's wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
Contradictions constantly.
We got some nice, like, AI stuff. You know, because this is the part of the stream where we ease you all in, right?
Yeah.
I know some of you arrive a bit late. We see you, but that's okay, right? We're not fancy, you know, roll up when you like. So that's why we just sort of stir the pot with a bit of Lindsay, you know, just to start with, right?
You gotta check in on him.
Reliable. Sorry?
Well, because you got to check in on him, because a lot of people want to see what's up with Lindsay, and then as soon as they see it, they go, okay, it's about what I thought. That's all he deserves at this point. He doesn't deserve a deep dive any longer.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, Master Shake, look what he put out on new discourses today. Yeah, I mean, I was going to cover that, but we've already got, like, so much stuff to cover. We should probably, like,
dude, it's the first 30 seconds to a minute where he says something along the lines of, like, yeah, so apparently this is a pretty popular series, or something like that. Like, he tries to pat himself on the back that what he's doing is important and popular, when they all have roughly around the views that we get on this stream. It's incredible. And it's 3 hours, and you listen to it for a minute and you go, yeah, I get how this goes. It's like listening to someone talk about CRT. It's the same script.
And also, his knowledge of history is, how do I put this delicately, very one-sided. Very one-sided, right? Like, it just, like, you know, I mean, look, I get it. I'm not like, oh my, you know, I mean, despite people who, oh my God, you're supporting the fashion. No. I think that if you want to extract real lessons from history, okay, you have to understand the points of view, the real points of view of all the people involved, particularly in war. Okay, you have to understand the view of both belligerents. Just privileging one side of that story is not going to help you get an accurate reflection of history or draw accurate lessons from it. I'm just saying. I
want to praise James Lindsay for doing one thing correctly. One thing that I appreciate, which is waking me up to the critical consciousness of, did you guys know Hitler bad? It's his ninth 3-hour episode.
Wait. Hitler bad? Why did nobody ever tell me this?
I do.
Really? Oh my God, this is literally the first time I am ever hearing this, Artie. You're blowing my mind, man. Hitler bad.
It feels like, you know, like I'm just watching Napoleon Dynamite. Like, apparently everyone has been saying this for a long time now, and somehow I missed the boat. He's going on 30 hours of Hitler bad, patting himself on the back. And it really is just intellectually elementary or sophomoric when he always like counts his words on X, and he's like, this is 2,500 words. And then when he does these episodes, he's like, this is my 9th one, technically my 10th one. Like, it's all quantity over quality.
Well, I don't really know. I mean, like, you know that old joke, right? What's the difference between a cow and World War II? You can only milk a cow for like 2 years, you know?
I've actually never heard that.
Oh, it's like, you know, I mean, so, you know, conceptually speaking, I guess it could be like a 40 episode, like, you know, stream. But again, like
it's Dear Diary. He's talking about his personal problems in a lot of them, and he didn't even put them in a playlist on his channel. These are just randomly interspersed with other things, and it's whatever he feels like going back to when he's got nothing to do. It's pathetic.
That's bad YouTubing right there. Right. Anyway, so we got some AI here from Josh Paul. Thank you very, very much.
Oh yeah, Josh Paul's been killing it.
Hegel, Gnostic, Schmidt, critical theory. Oh, who am I kidding? I'm making it up.
Delightful.
Up as he goes along.
Now, bros, Nick Fuentes is BTFO'd, bros. How is he ever going to get back from this, mate? Right? Nuked from orbit. Do you know what James has dubbed him? Burrito Mussolini. Oh, how is he ever going to recover, mate? That nickname's going to follow him around like a bad stench.
He's not the left. He's not calling him a Nazi. See? It's completely different. It's completely different.
Yeah, that's right. He's just calling him a fascist, right? Which is like, you know, basically the same thing, but not real. Like it's just so weird when like you have this power, okay? You went power mad with that power. You did not use this power constructively or in any kind of reserved fashion, okay, right? Like, you know, like someone gave you like an AR-15, right? And instead of like taking it out to hunt, you just like, you know, started brushing your teeth with it and just like taking it to like Walmart and like spraying it everywhere and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And now that everyone's like trying to like say, listen, you are too dangerous to be trusted with this weapon, you're like, oh no, that was my AR-15. I can totally be trusted, you know, with a Vector, right? Or some other kind of like automatic weapon, right? And it's just you cannot be trusted with the power to just go around destroying people's lives. You have used it far too recklessly, you know. But yeah, Burrito Mussolini, bros.
Got him.
We've got some super chats.
All right.
The Ghost of Pinochet again. Ooh, spooky.
Thank
For
you,
$5 spooky dollars. Argues, you mean kvetches and Pilpulls. Fixed it. Thank you very much. Big Time sent 1 gift membership.
Thank you, mate.
Time. Theodicy Ninja. He's a good lad. I see him on Twitter.
Nice.
For $5. The only history they know is World War II. They barely even know American history, just 20th century revisionist pop history. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And every single time someone tries to do like, you know, actual history, right? Like Daryl Cooper would be a good example. They're like, hey, you're saying that you like Stalin. Yeah, well, you know who else likes Stalin? Churchill. Right? I mean, you know, the West literally gave like Stalinist USSR like millions in like cash, grain, farm equipment, military vehicles. Like if you know, having positive feelings about Stalin makes you a bad person, then Churchill is definitely a bad person.
But I need you to realize how cucked even this conversation is, where you like that guy. Are we in like fucking high school? Like, do you see what the left is doing?
It's so woman coded.
Oh
like,
my God.
Oh, you like that guy? Oh,
right, James, at least suck my fucking cock if you're going to talk like this.
Oh my God, we're not inviting you to the box social. Oh, did you hear? Brittany said she liked that guy. That guy. Oh,
right. Meanwhile, there's like avowed Marxists in academia.
Yep. Christos sent 5 gift membership. Oh, very nice.
Fuck yeah, mate. I'm gonna have to do a little something funky for all these hard R's.
And Total Blackout Painting TBP.
TBP.
Sent 10 gift memberships.
Oh my God. See,
Fucking
it's
hell.
people like them why I had to stop reading names. I think it's at like 140 names now. It's
going to be more after this, mate.
it's getting ridiculous. I don't know what to do with it all. But I'm gonna have to hook the hard R's up. Very, very proper. Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe we should record like a little thank you something for like all the hard R's or something like that. Talk to you after the stream. Maybe we can just like get together for half an hour and right. So James then goes on to say, the Moors are the only tribe I know of that doesn't have any ambition to interfere with other tribes, only to be let alone to do their own things and not be subjected to terrorism, pogroms, and genocide. Are you fucking serious, mate? Like, really? To which I think the only reply is this.
I am Jewish and proud because Jews have always done what's right. We've led the fight for gay rights. Harvey Milk fought to ban discrimination based on sexual orientation.
So
Eddie Windsor was a leader in the fight for marriage equality. Miriam Ben Shalom challenged the ban on gay people serving in the military. We've helped lead the fight for racial justice. Our rabbis were BFFs with MLK. Together with Black leaders, Jews helped to establish over 20 HBCUs. During the Civil Rights Movement, Jews were disproportionately involved in the protests. We've led the fight for women's rights, for equal pay and the right to choose, and against discrimination in the workplace. Jews were also among the first on the ground in Turkey, Ukraine, and Haiti. In Judaism, when it comes to helping others, no action is too big or too small. The Jewish principle of Tikkun Olam tells us that we have the power to change the world, and there are so many ways to do that. And this is why I am Jewish and proud.
Yeah, because they just want to be left alone, right? And not change the society that they're in or anything. I found this. This is kind of funny. This is just really, really weird. So because Mandami got elected in New York, all the Jays there are basically freaking out. But they do have an incredible amount of money. So they're doing stuff like this. I don't know whether this is going to be effective or not. You still there, Artie? You dropped out?
No, yeah, I'm here. I was just I sent you a picture in Telegram that I want you to put up right now.
Oh, so, okay.
Something that's not really discussed a whole lot. Now, I ask Grok this every once in a while just to make myself laugh. So I love to ask Grok, and you all can try it yourself. You ask Grok and you go, would James Lindsay be allowed to get married in Israel? Now, you might think, what kind of question is that? Why wouldn't he be allowed to get married in Israel? Is it because he's not a citizen there? What is it? What does it say? Why wouldn't James Lindsay be allowed to get married in Israel?
Well, it turns out that there's no secular or civil marriage option. I don't know. I kind of I don't know whether I agree with that or not.
I agree with that. I think the marriages should just be through the church.
Yeah. So of course, Lindsay is not Muish by halakhic standards. I think he's making like a pretty good run for it. I would,
right?
I would encourage particularly the Reform Muish community to accept him as one of them. I think in all important ways. Look, my understanding is that if you want to convert to Reform Muism, they just like prick you on your foreskin now. You don't have to go like the full chop. I just like that. I just like that. One of the reasons why he couldn't get married in Israel is because he's not Muish. Huh? You would think that like we would seem like some sort of theocratic regime if Grok was like, well, one of the reasons why you can't get married is because you're a Christian. Ooh, interfaith or non-religious marriages are not recognized. Even if he wanted to marry a non-Mu or an atheist, no Israeli religious authority would officiate, and the state would not recognize a civil ceremony. Oh, that's so he'd have to fly to Cyprus, Czech Republic, or the US for a civil marriage, then register it in Israel. So there is a workaround, right? So
the marriage itself cannot happen in Israel. So what I want us to do is bring up the marriage practices of Israel to these people. I want to see way more. Honestly, These are their laws. You gays can't get married and atheists can't get married. So why don't we ever bring that up? What if we had that here? What would they say about us if we had that here?
That's anti-citrus.
Right.
Don't say that. Big time for 5 Federal Reserve dollars. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Big time. Why did Stalin need all that farm equipment from the good guys? He had the meat from over 7 million kulaks chow down. Oh, bro. Oh, God. That's fucking grim. And Dawson Harper for $2. At least James can marry here as of 2014 anyway. Gay. Right. What else have we got here? Let me see. Harrison Smith gave him ratio. It's been a week of some very, very hard ratios for James. But as he basically said, if a ratio falls in the forest and nobody hears it, did it even really happen? So he's in his lane, flourishing, moisturized, unbothered. He doesn't care, right? What the Twitterati thinks, unless of course he's winning, and then of course he does care. But if he's losing, then he doesn't. So Harrison Smith saying it's Israel. No, wait. So Jack Posobiec says that Marxists attack turning point events, and then Harrison Smith is saying it is literally Israel and their proxies. Conservatives are not infighting. Agents of a hostile foreign power are subverting American nationalism from the inside. To which James replies, if Israel is involved at all, it's the ultra-left faction controlled by Ehud Barak, who agrees with you retards on pretty much everything. But there are more obvious candidates to blame. As you know well, this speaks to Lindsay's theory that literally everything that is happening in America at the moment is being funded by either Qatar or China in order to sever the sort of the golden thread, the precious thread between Israel and America. The most precious thread, actually, really. I mean, you might think of America as, embodying things like the pioneer spirit, the Revolutionary War, the First and the Second Amendment, your right for free speech. But I say to you, Americans, right, that's not true. The most important thing about America is that beautiful golden thread that connects you to the state of Israel, right? I don't want to hear anyone in the chat saying anything different, right? To which Harrison replies, I'm talking about you, dumbass.
James Lindsay is so aloof. He must have spent so much time in a locker in middle school. Oh my God.
This fucking meme. I've been getting a lot of use out of this meme, right? Bugman Hagel, shout out Bugman Hagel. If you're listening, good follow at Fed Posting. Also excellent.
Oh, yeah.
Would highly recommend. It just like the thing I love about this meme, right, is the way it just like captures that like completely smug, patronizing tone that is like just a feature like of the way he's like talking at the moment. And we actually found the originator of this meme. He reached out to me on Twitter,
really?
Tree Frog. Give him a follow. He doesn't have many followers. I would highly recommend. Shout out to you, Tree Frog, for making this.
That meme comes from hatred right there. That's an act of inspiration of how that happens. Something deep down inside of you goes, you know what? I've had enough. I'm going to take a stand.
I don't even know how he made it. Like, it's just so perfect. Like, it just, oh mate, I don't know, man. It speaks to me, right? Wait. We got some more super chats, I believe.
Big time
again for $5. In regards to Lindsay getting his circumcision, we need to warn him. Just the tip is extremely dangerous. Just look at the Titanic. Oh, bro. And the thing is, right, once he noticed these memes going around, he literally replied with his own smugly. Obviously, this shirt has been altered digitally. Fact check. But I just
who did that?
Who did do that?
Because didn't you come up with Kosher Centrist?
Yes. This is from Eye of Wotan. Wait, I need to give him a follow. he made this one the Kosher right, and I said, actually, could you make the Kosher centrist one?
Okay, I was gonna say
that is our preferred moniker, and he obliged. He's a good lad. Thank you very, very much, Wotan. I appreciate that, mate. Give this guy a follow. I appreciate people who can do AI like this. And then we got, so this is the original picture, obviously, of James just being insufferably smug. And we got some AI edits, which were pretty good.
Okay, so that's the real one. Now show us the AI edit.
Wait, okay. Let's see. And then we've got he's also doing that thing where he will sort of like lapse into like veiled threats a lot. Again, sort of, sort of showcasing his more Levantine attributes. The favorite part of now is people expecting loyalty from me after not showing it to me. It's truly hilarious. I'll treat them fairly though, which is more than can be said for most.
Who is he talking about?
Oh God, I don't know.
Who's
maybe Matt Walsh.
Maybe consistency.
He's still beefing with Matt Walsh, and basically, saying like, yeah, I mean, he's basically calling Matt Walsh a Nazi, but I'm not calling you a Nazi. It's like they're basically trying to chart a course between the fact that these words have become like just so overused. It's completely like flooded the zone.
It's such a high level projection because don't the Moos expect loyalty from you after what they've done to you?
Yeah. Mott Walsh. Do you get it?
He doesn't know what any of these words mean. We can all agree on that.
It's a Mott and Bailey. And this is because
he really means something extreme. That's what he really means.
Matt Walsh had the temerity to say that he wants to put America first. There's a lot of speculation about like how long he's going to last at the Daily Wire with that kind of an attitude.
We've been covering it.
Yep.
What we want is for someone to unashamedly and single-mindedly advocate for Americans.
You can't do that.
Sounds a bit fascist to me, man.
You can't do that. You're not being inclusive, but also only include us. And you know who we are. I think you're heard of us. I'm still waiting for that guy. I'm still waiting. Fellas, at some point, I don't know when, but it's going to be on the stream. Fist showed me a clip of such an over-the-top moo that I am now going to be studying him and taking classes to sound exactly like him in order to make fun of the moos. It is the most stereotypical moo I've ever seen.
It's crazy how the stereotype holds. You're in one of these like weird positions where just to sort of accurately document this stuff feels like a hate crime. Like just
oh my God,
you're just like, yeah, but how can it be a hate crime if you're like literally just showing the way these people talk?
Who are you talking about? The blacks are the moos right now. So this is why the moos are getting uppity, because now they're getting treated like the blacks. Now the mask is off and we're like, oh my God, look at how these people are acting. Because now they can't help themselves. They feel like they're under threat. It's an existential dread probably just comes from existential threat from the moos from thousands of years, okay? Right now, they are behaving times 100 than the things that Nick Fuentes and the things that we joke about. We're no longer joking about them. We are just chronicling what they're doing. It's really hard to come up with fresh material and not just show you how they're acting, dude. It's over the top.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, this entire shift in the American consciousness is being extensively documented because it's all happening online, right? And then, of course, you have Sherpas like myself and Artie, who spend a inordinate amount of time just sort of collecting all of this like ridiculousness and sort of condensing it, right, to like give to you, loyal fellas. I personally think this is just really fascinating, right? This is cutting deep into
it's historic.
The post-war consensus fundamentally, right? In which these people were given like a very, very sort of special place and these like sort of exceptions and privileges. But I would argue they haven't been very good with them. They have sort of overplayed this position. And now, you know, pride cometh before the fall and all this kind of other stuff. So we had Ben Shapiro was on with the Trigonometry boys, and basically we got a few clips from this. Enjoy, bros, enjoy.
You know, the idea on the right that if you must gloss Nazis in order to win, if they start to become, if the face of the Republican Party continues to move in a direction that is racialist, that is religiously exclusivist to the extent that it seems to be moving, if that is the way that the Republican Party decides to play it, that is not an electorally sound strategy, just on a pragmatic level.
I keep seeing this being asserted,
Yeah.
but I don't see any data to back this up. I know I've made this like point previously, but if there was polling showing this, I'm pretty sure they would be saying, look at this poll, right? The fact that they are not doing this suggests to me that this is not in fact the case, and this is basically cope.
Well, cope. The biggest cope is, who do you think came up with racism and anti-Semitism? Where if it's the left saying it, they call you racist. So he can't sound just like the left, right? So what does he say? Racialist.
Yeah, that's right.
Completely different, okay?
Yeah,
and he's an
racialist,
exclusionist. Yeah. Where do you think all of the historical academic ists and isms come from? We're seeing another one made, right? Who has ever said racialist? Is that a thing?
Actually, racialism is what it was called in Weimar Germany.
Okay.
So the term racist basically took off after a book that was written by Magnus Hirschfeld. Yes, that Magnus Hirschfeld, the head of the Institute for Sexuelle Wissenschaft, the tranny sort of, you know, lab that got burnt. He also wrote a book, a large book called Rassismus. Is it Rassismus? And it's all about racialism. It's, you know, so yes, actually, it's a historically correct term, but clearly they're just trying to like pivot away from like arousing these sort of, I guess, just like mechanism that everyone has now. When you start like pulling out the race card, everyone's just like, oh my god.
I know, but in their defense, things are getting so scary and so bad that his yarmulke is turning into a full helmet before our very eyes.
His yarmulke is getting bigger, right? It's not just. I mean, it's
going to be covering his ears like a baseball helmet soon enough, dude. That thing it's starting to transform into a defensive measure.
Has he got like a bald spot or something going on?
Also, fellas, we are at 62 likes right now. I believe there is 217 people watching. If we can get that up to at least like half, you know, something you could fuck with at the bar, you know, it's not going to be, it's like a fat chick, you know, a little dumpy, a little muffin top, has probably like D-sized titties though, you know, a little bit of a gut hanging over a waistline, but it's late. It's 2 a.m. Let's try and get that to a half chub so we can fuck this fat broad. Thanks, fellas. I appreciate it.
Ardent party for 2 Canadian loonies.
Thank you, mate.
It's Constantine Kissin and his pet Gentile Francis. Yes.
More like Constantine kissing the wall. Am I right?
Oh, bro.
That's not mine. So that was in my comment section. I have a great comment section.
We've also got $5 from Deadpool Kid. Good to see you, Deadpool Kid. How you doing, mate?
DPK.
200 years later, Rabbi Shlomo. Guys, remember to never forget about the thing about the one guy we must not name because it'll reopen trauma. Oy vey. Yeah, I mean, you know,
remember to never forget about the thing about the one guy we can't name. Dude, how is it not that? How is it not that?
Big time for $5.
Thank you,
to quote Jared Taylor, Ben, you demonic heretic, I am white. And from Christos for £2, bloof and soil for moose, but not for use.
It's incredible. Dude, I swear to God, we need to talk. Whenever they bring up Israel, I just want to bring up their marriage laws. I've never heard it discussed publicly. And it needs to be discussed publicly to go, well, is the Mooish religion integrated into the country? How secular is Israel really? when those are the laws. I find that bizarre.
Yeah, well, okay, let's get on with it. I'm just look at that yarmulke. It's majestic. Like look at the size of it, mate.
It's
like
becoming helmetic. That is turning into a hat.
Carter Holz in the chat. His yarmulke is going to cover his face like the Kanye mask he wore on InfoWars.
Yeah, he's gonna do reverse Kanye.
Oh my God! Right.
I don't see like these are not the American people do not like the politics of, say, Nick Fuentes. And the attempt to launder his ideas into the public view, which is what I think Tucker has been doing with a wide variety of rather nefarious characters over the course of the last 2 years. I don't think those laundered views are particularly popular with the American people. And so if the right wants to pretend like, moving in that direction is going to win them additional votes, not the number of votes you're going to lose by moving in this particular direction.
People might say,
again, Ben, source, right? What is the source for what you say? Right? Like, seriously, okay. I've been following this guy.
It's just a given.
I've been following this guy from Rasmussen, Mark Byrne, I think his name is, right?
Okay.
And he's been getting so Rasmussen they're a reputable polling company, right?
Yeah.
And he's basically saying that contrary to what Shapiro and co are saying, that the groundswell against his position is far larger than they are willing to admit. Because this is one of the things about polling, as I think I mentioned before, right? You don't just do polls to gauge public opinion. You can also use polls to manufacture public opinion by telling everyone, oh, actually, this position is like more popular. It sways like the weak-minded. And if you are trying to basically say, this view, this position is haram, you do not want to publish any polling that would suggest that this position is gaining wide currency among the electorate, because you might sway the weak-minded. And this is what I'm seeing. They are not publishing any polling data at all to support any of these assertions. They're just like, oh, you're going to lose votes. Source, brother. I need a source.
It's a given. It's just obvious.
Yeah, it's just obvious, right? Sol on the Lich for 100 ARS. I don't know what that is. Is that the Argentinian one?
Yeah. Yeah, you're getting good. You're converting currency over here.
Holy vey, I'm going to convert some currency.
You've been studying them for so long. It's what you're becoming.
If you look into the abyss, make sure the abyss does not look back into you. Mats Volchenberg, is America first now? First to what? First to clean dual citizenships holders' bathrooms with their tongues, bro.
Dude, the dual citizenship. There's, as we'll see, when Nick Fuentes said something. I covered this in my my last video. When Nick Fuentes says something, it's anti-Semitic. You can find many reputable, high-ranking in positions of power moos that will say the same thing times 100.
Oh yeah,
the double standard is over the top, and people are done with it.
Well, I mean, this is the thing, right? It's kind of like social media has sort of, in a sense, like broken the, I guess, digital ghetto, in a way, right? Because before social media, before like YouTube, Gentiles, like, they wouldn't go to synagogues, they wouldn't like watch Mooish live streamers or anything like that, right? Like they just, so these views would circulate inside their community, but like wouldn't really reach outside. And now it's just very, very easy to see what it is that they're saying in their own words. And it does not chime with this idea of like, oh, it's everybody else who's hateful. It's everybody else who discriminates, right? Like, we are just so awesome. We love everybody. They clearly don't. Look at this freeze frame of kissing.
Look at his ears, dude. I made a thumbnail of him once, and I made his ears disgusting and huge, and nobody noticed.
Tucker Carlson's got the biggest conservative platform in America. Isn't that proof that actually these views are very popular?
I mean, they are popular with a certain segment. Are they popular broad scale across America? I mean, I know many ambulatory psychotics who have very large audiences.
Medicalized.
Yeah. Ambulatory psychotics. Like, dude, you're so they're not good at talking shit.
Look at these smug smiles.
Holy shit! What the kiss? I gotta make that a fucking screen cap.
Holy shit! Like, oh wait.
He looks like he's in love. He looks like he's in love with Ben Shapiro.
I have got to like screen cap that, right? Like that's the most epic smuggling. Like, you know, oh yes. So, you know, there's a small radical fringe of ambulatory psychotics who think like this. You know, maybe we should like medicate them, or, you know, maybe, I don't know, make some kind of place where they could gather together and concentrate.
Once again,
maybe some kind of like a camp or something, you know.
Doesn't just call him crazy. He's different. Ambulatory psychotics. It means the same thing. That's what saying a word is communicating a concept. And he's communicating the same concept that the left does over and over again. He just uses different words. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
I wonder if ambulatory psychotic is going to be the new sluggish schizophrenia, which quite famously was a diagnosis that was used in the USSR for political dissidents. If you didn't like communism, they just basically diagnosed you as having sluggish schizophrenia and just like locked you away.
Or we could get someone to make dad rock AI songs, and the band is called Ambulatory Psychotic, and it's all about the kosher centrists.
Oh man, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Some fucking Creed, a little bit, you know, a little bit of Hoobastank influence, you know, as a reference file.
Cyberchud, if you're in the chat listening, get on that, my son. Get on that.
In the online space, I'm not calling Tucker an ambulatory psychotic. I think he's very actually coherent in what he's doing.
Oh, I'm not calling him that. Okay.
I know a lot of people who have a big audience. We should note that every big audience in the media, you're talking about 3-4 million people. The electorate in the United States is generally about 160 million people. And so you can find, you know, it's a big country. You can find a niche for anything. I think one of the mistakes politicians make is they look at X and they say, this is representative of the American body politic. And that is just too online. It's just way too online. I mean, just to take one obvious example, Tucker Carlson was very much opposed to President Trump's strike on the Iranian nuclear facility and said that it was going to break MAGA. That was a 90-10 proposition in the opposite way for President Trump by all polling data among the Republicans. Republicans were very much pro that.
Okay, so he has polling data for that specific thing, but not polling data for like what he is suggesting. Interesting.
And so, like, but if you'd read Twitter, then you would have gotten precisely the opposite impression. And so I think being too online is one aspect of this for sure.
Yeah, being too online. So if Twitter doesn't matter, why do people such as yourself dump so much effort into it, Ben? Right? Like, they were using this exactly the same argument in the UK for years, by the way, for people who were getting really, really angry about mass immigration. And they're like, oh, you know, Twitter doesn't matter. Twitter doesn't matter. Except it turns out that it did. Because obviously, like, sort of, you know, social media participation is sort of more prevalent among the young. But the fact is that social media drives narratives, and these narratives are very important. People like Ben understand this very, very well.
Well, the thing is that we used to say a 24-hour news cycle, but X is actually 24 hours. It's actually constantly pumping out information. And so before, you'd have to wait every night, and then they were controlling the narrative. But now it's at the hands of the people, and it's out of now they have to be reactive. They're constantly on the back foot as to what's going to pop off online.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. We got more of this.
I wrote about this on my Substack. I don't know if you saw, but it was about what's happened to young men in particular over the last 10, 15 years, where we had this woke period where if you were a straight white man, like there was dog shit, and then straight white men like a lot of levels below that.
Right.
And particularly for a generation who neither created a system where men may have had some advantage, or
pretty
white
unfair,
people have had some advantage, nor benefited from that. If you
did you see that look on Shapiro's face?
Autism or mooetry? Which one is it? Mooery or autism?
He just looks like fucking Darth Vader sometimes.
He looks really unhappy that this is being said right now.
benefited from that. If you were a 15-year-old Zoomer, you were being told the future's female, all men are trash, etc., while actually your life outcomes and the education system, which was overwhelmingly not favorable to people like you, that you were going.
So, right.
How did this happen?
these things happened, right? And the whole time it was a milquetoast response to it. Yeah, I don't agree with that. They shouldn't do that to anybody. Well, one side is heavily rallying around identity and using it against white people to the point where culturally, even academically, even in terms of employment, it's negatively impacting them from literally every angle that a society could impact them. And then they're like, yeah, well, that doesn't mean that Nick Fuentes is right. And it's like, well, what did you guys like? That Nick Fuentes used to be a cruise missile. He used to be all for Ted Cruz. He used to be, you know,
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's something I wanted to show too. I have is the first show that Nick Fuentes ever did when he was like freshly 17, and he's like a libertarian, and like he turned into this because of people like Ben Shapiro.
I mean, this is a recurring theme that I keep seeing. It's not universal. I have seen some Moorish commentators, Yisrael Fleischer, notably pointed out that left-wing Moori was like heavily overrepresented in pushing these progressive social anti-white agendas. But generally speaking, the sort of the general kind of thing seems to be like, oh, these things just happened. You know, how did they happen? Like, it's very like, just like, oh, it's just systemic, right? That these things happen, right? Like nobody pushed these ideas. No one mainstreamed these ideas. No one put billions of like dollars behind these ideas, right? Like, let's not mention the Pritzkers or anyone like that. Oh, no. It just happened, bros, right?
Going through, you can kind of see why they're angry and resentful.
I mean, I totally agree why they're angry and resentful. And this, again, gets back to a point. Diagnosis is easy. Prognosis and cure is hard.
Yeah.
And so I totally agree that the sort of wokeism of the past 20 years has created, for example, the Fuentes movement. I mean, I talked about that openly on the show on Monday and in the piece that I wrote for the Wall Street Journal, is that basically the sort of woke left idea that white Christian men in particular were the scourge of the earth and thus had to be extirpated from public life, or at least disadvantaged in public life by the sort of Ibram X. Kendi. The only way to fix the injustices of the past is to engage in injustices in the present. Like, I can see why that would drive a sort of white Christian identitarianism. I think that in order for that identitarianism to take place, it can't really be a Christian identitarianism, because Christianity, last I checked, and again, I'll let others who are more expert in this topic than I speak to this, is a system that distinguishes neither Jew from Greek nor slave from master. I mean,
for Christians, Ben, for Christians. Oh my fuck! Like, he's talking about people who are Christian. Oh freaking hell, man! Oh god, the way they freaking mangle Christianity really gets my goat, man.
Well, the way the passive aggressive, like, oh, now I haven't read it in quite a while, but maybe someone can correct me. But like, I think the quote is like that fucking approach, dude. We're so over it.
It can't like, it has to be universalist, right? We, of course, can maintain like our highly exclusivist stuff, right? And use it against you. But no, right? Like, I mean, fucking Judeo-Christianity, my God. Deadpool Kid for $5. Maybe we should ask them about Rabbi Harry Watton and some of his quotes in question 2. And his little book about a pogrom for moose. I am not aware of that, Deadpool Kid.
Interesting.
Drop some more info in the chat.
Well, it's about individual equality was one of the key functions of Christianity. So you have to come up with kind of a pseudo-Christianity where...
Oh, a pseudo-Christianity. That's fucking rich coming from you, Ben. Holy shit.
That's how they think of things. That's how they think of it. They only have a pseudo-mooism. There is no real moodyism.
Fuck it, dude, this is insane. Oh, yeah, we'd have to come up with a sort of pseudo-Christianity. Really? Oh, yeah, what's that phrase that they're using all the time? Oh, yeah, that's very interesting that you would say that.
Or what really pisses them off, they go, we're just asking questions. You guys can ask questions. We can't just ask some questions.
That's really interesting. That's interesting that you would say that.
Certain people are superior to other people. And I think that that's a really negative thing, which is why you've seen some systemic immunity to it among more traditional Christian groups, actually. But I think that the move that you see, it is understandable, but the normal curative to woke should be meritocracy. And that's a hard argument to make these days.
Now, that
Right?
works.
I mean, again, because meritocracy has an inherent suggestion, which is if you don't succeed, maybe it's at least partially or largely your fault. And that's a very hard sell to people. That's a very hard sell.
Now, that meritocracy works when it's an even playing field and it's not a time of internal war and conflict in the country. That's when meritocracy works. When you have people that are, I mean, do the Moos do a meritocracy, or are they very nepotistic, in your opinion?
Well, they are, but they would like to believe that it's a meritocracy, right? So it's a meritocracy when they get all of the advantages of, a high in-group preference, tight ethnic and social and financial networks, and they deliberately attack any sort of like whites trying to do the same thing. So that's meritocracy, where essentially they are the organized minority, you are the unorganized majority, and if you can't get ahead as part of that disorganized majority, well, that's just because you weren't meritocratic enough. There's a whole other dynamic of this. Also, thank you to Arden Party for this meme. Very, very nice. Theodicy Ninja for $5.
Wait, I want to read it. When you and your buddy build a golem and its first words are Tikkun Olam. And look at their faces, dude. Look at how pleased they are.
Bros, we got to start posting this. Oh my god, just that. Oh, dude, the smugly. It's too much, bros. Theodicy Ninja for $5. In a multiracial society, all politics becomes identity politics. If the centrists want Reagan back, you need Reagan demographics back. Yeah, that's absolutely cool.
Yeah, that's pretty undeniable. That's what I'm saying, though. Like, a lot of these concepts he's saying make sense in a homogenous society. Sure.
Now, this is an absolutely real clip from the Ben Shapiro show. It's not AI at all.
Right.
I totally believe that this is like a really real, properly real, 100% real and accurate clip, bros.
Israel good, Tucker bad. Sending your tax money to Israel, good. Listening to Tucker, bad. You dying in war for Israel, good. Tucker podcast, bad. Daily Wire subscription, good. Everything else, bad. Oh, you like Jordan Peterson? Pay me a subscription, bitch. Israel, good. America, not so much. Israel first, good. America first, not so good. Annoying voice, Ben Shapiro, good. Annoying laugh, Tucker Carlson, bad. Shalom, bitches. Please subscribe. Israel, good.
Shalom, bitches. Please subscribe.
He's going to try and sweep that under the rug and act like that was fake.
Yeah, he's going to try and act like this is AI. Oh, God. Just I can't believe it.
He's so boomer coded, dude. He thinks everything's AI now.
King Solo Wings for $20 US.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you so much.
I have the same vocal range I normally have.
Look. Oh, mate, you made Artie cough up a lung with that super chat, mate. If you would like to hear Artie cough up his other lung, super chats are the way to go.
Please go easy on me.
Racist, moo-hating dudes, my crackers, I'm joining your cause. Well, thank you very, very much.
Thank you, mate. Very much appreciated.
I appreciate that. Now, this is the clip that got little Benny boy and his Yamaka maxing ass into trouble.
That is a 10-gallon yarmulke, okay?
10-gallon yarmulke. home on the range.
Yeah, how do you combine a moo voice with like a Southern cowboy voice? That's going to be difficult. I'm going to have to take that in the workshop.
We need to rustle up all those spare coins and take them back to the ranch.
Oh, howdy there, partner.
Howdy there, partner. He got a lot of stick for this.
You should not live here. I mean, that is a...
Wait, did I just lose connection? Oh, sorry, I think I did.
You look beautiful to me.
I'll play this from the start again.
If you're a young person and you can't afford to live here, then maybe you should not live here. I mean, that is a real thing. Yeah, I know that we've now grown up in a society that says that you deserve to live where you grew up, but the reality is that the history of America is almost literally the opposite of that. The history of America is you go to a place where there is opportunity. And if the opportunities are limited here and they're not changing, then you really should try to think about other places where you have better opportunities. If you're a young person and you can't.
Now, this is technically correct if you look at American history. There's like sort of the Okies under like the Great Depression and stuff like that. But these are not generally regarded as good things, right? Like the massive migration to California during the Great Depression, the gold rush is generally held to be a sort of negative part of American history.
I mean, people are waking up to a critical consciousness about race. They are waking up to it, and they're like, you know what? Why am I being like? The best way I can explain it is that when me and you went to school, okay, if you were in middle school, high school, and you're looking for some trim, your body's going through changes, you're getting urges, all right. The women only had a small pool of what they could choose from, right?
Yep.
You didn't have to compete with it. Now a 15-year-old in 2025 has to compete with the entire world. And what has that done to the dating market? It's completely tanked it. So now what happens when we open up our borders and now somebody in, a small town called Bradford somewhere has to compete with the rest of the world in a small town? That's exactly what's happening in these areas.
Must be so fucking brutal being like a male 15-year-old, right?
Oh,
like,
dude.
I mean, also, especially if you're like, like the kind of like sort of starry-eyed 15-year-old where you don't want to lie to women and you just, like how like young boys are. They're just like, oh, I just want to like, and you're like literally up against like a million scammers from like India and Pakistan who are like, oh baby, like they'll just like literally say anything.
Like works. Dude, I saw this when I was growing up, that the dudes that lied got way more pussy than the dudes that were honest. Like this is something I've seen for so long. I used to go on legendary misogynistic tirades. Maybe we can wake that up out of me one day again.
Yeah. Deadpool Kid for another $5. A program for the Moose and an answer to all anti-Semites by Harry Wotton. It's archived online. Thanks very much, mate. I guess I'll check that out. Okay, so.
Oh, Slosher for 5 Canadian loonies, mate. He's turning into a fucking loon before our fucking eyes, mate. Come on, guys. Don't you all want to be ruthless cosmopolitans?
Ruthless cosmopolitan.
Rootless with no roots. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like being a ruthless cosmopolitan is probably better. You know what I mean, right?
I mean, being ruthless is a defensive measure at this point.
Okay, so Fuentes had words to say about this. Now, just a bit of context. Shapiro was talking about Mandami. The trigonometry guys were basically saying, like, look, if material conditions have gotten this bad, is it any wonder that people are voting for socialism? And this is the fundamental point, right? The material conditions on the ground are now getting so bad, right? The combination of usury, fiat money, mass immigration has just driven prices insane. The problem with fiat money, the problem with usury, but fiat money especially, and the US and other Western countries have essentially like sort of a double fiat system, right? Is that it only ever ends in one way, which is hyperinflation. It might take you 100 years to get there, but you cannot find sort of a country in history that has meddled with this that has not come out of this like the same way at the other end. And every single time they do it, they're like, oh, this system will stabilize it. This will last for longer. No, when you start printing money, when the government starts printing money, it always results in hyperinflation because it sort of stops the natural break that you have on taxation. Before the government could print money, if you wanted to tax the population, you had to go out there and actually get it, right? So, we go, okay, we're raising the taxes on grain to like 15%. You'd have to go out to the farms. You have to find the grain. You have to like deal with the farmers. The farmers like hide it. Some of your tax collectors might get like roughed up. It's a whole to do. Yeah. When you've got fiat money, the government can just print it at source and you can tax the population without any reference to the population at all. They fucking love it, right?
But in that context, isn't the only point of taxes to oppress your populace?
Yes. Well, there's this great quote from someone who was involved in the Fed. I think it was from 1948. I found it in The Creature from Jekyll Island, which is a great book, by the way. Would highly recommend.
Is that G. Edward Griffin?
Yeah, G. Edward Griffin. Yeah, and he basically said that the point of taxation was essentially social engineering. It was to stop people from spending money on stuff the government didn't like. And this I think is the second fatal part of fiat money creation that always comes around, is that sooner or later a government gets in with some ideological transformative vision. And it's not hard to see why, because that kind of shit will get you votes, right? Like, you come in and you're like, we're going to abolish hunger, or we're going to abolish sickness. Now, I'm not saying that, attempts to do this, to make the world a better place is a bad thing. What I'm saying is that once a government gets a hold of both the ability to print infinite money and a transformative social vision, that's usually when shit starts going off the rails. Because the problem with transformative social visions is that they are against human nature, and thus the amount of money that must be spent on them is effectively infinite, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of super chats as well. Hang on. King Solo Wings again for $10. Thank you very much.
Thank you, mate.
Now I don't even know how, but I'm a member. My European pride is growing. Oh, that's nice. Solo Wings.
Snuck it in on him. Put it in his pocket.
Look,
somebody planted a membership on him.
Look, mate, get plenty of exercise. Maybe do like a cold plunge and stuff, and you'll find that your pride can get to like full mast. Quite quickly. If you're having some problems with a bit of a flaccid pride, I would recommend exercise, sauna, cold plunge. It's very, very good. Thanks very much, mate. And big time again for $5.
Thank you, mate.
Newsfist, hyperinflation is great. I have always wanted my first $1 trillion bill, just like Zimbabwe. I actually have.
Did that happen?
Oh yeah, I've actually got one. $1 trillion.
Was it getting so insane in Zimbabwe that it was like Fallout, where like a can of soda is like $70?
Yeah, literally. Zimbabwe is one of the classic sort of like hyperinflationary stories. They got rid of all the whites and just started printing money like crazy, and eventually they wound up with like $1 trillion notes, and it's really flimsy too. Like if you actually see them in real life, like it's so crappily made, because when inflation gets this bad, the quality of the currency tends to decline because they need to reprint it so often. You know what I mean, right? Because and we are seeing. The thing is, man, we're seeing inflation in the West at the moment, and I think a lot of it actually is the insane amount of money that they're shoveling into Ukraine. I do not believe for a second,
but they're trying to do that. This is an intentional move.
Yeah, but they are not telling the population like how much money they're shoveling into Ukraine, like at all. I don't believe for a second they are telling the population how much money they're shoveling into Ukraine. It's distorting the entire economy of the West. It's such a large amount of money. So I leave that to the viewer to speculate on, how much money that is, right? I got to get another cup of coffee, so I'll just play this. I'll just be a minute, mate.
Here's where it gets good. He says, if you're a young person and you can't afford to live here, maybe you should not live here. That is a real thing. We've grown up in a society that says you deserve to live where you grew up. The audacity, imagine feeling entitled to that. He says, but the reality is that the history of America is literally the opposite of that. The history of America is about going to a place where there is opportunity. And if the opportunities are limited here and they're not changing, you should really try to think about other places where you have better opportunities. So much wrong with this message. And I would say in the first place, this echoes a conversation that Shapiro had with Tucker Carlson 5 years ago, where Tucker Carlson said, there's a feeling in America that things are changing too rapidly, that we are being crushed by the creative destruction of the market, the technological innovation, immigration, free trade. It's all altering society at a breakneck pace, and it feels like Americans in the heartland, in between the coasts, are sort of an afterthought.
Now, I would add that I haven't seen Nick talk about this specifically, but I think one of the big unaddressed problems of this entire situation is inflation, monetary inflation, fiat money. Okay. So consider, okay, inflation makes everything become more expensive. This makes wages more expensive. This drives mass immigration. Okay. Because, you know, you then want cheaper people to pay cheaper wages, but this keeps on going. If the US exported all of their migrants tomorrow, and you had to pay basically sort of like what the whites believe to be like a fair wage, or what Americans believe to be a fair wage, the inflation would be insane. And so the West, generally speaking, they've sort of backed themselves into this corner where they can't remove all this, what is effectively slave labor, basically, or prices will reset to their natural level. All of the inflation built up in the system will suddenly become apparent. And before you know it, it'll be like $20 for a cup of coffee, and everyone's going to lose their fucking mind. Goes to Pinochet again for $5. Blood and soil.
I don't see why not. I mean, for certain people, they can do that. So, I mean, I want what they have, you know, just trying to, I want
exactly. I want what they're having.
The industry's being hollowed out. The neighborhoods are being altered. The people are being displaced. He said, and people feel like they want to live in the town where their ancestors are buried, where 3 or 4 generations or beyond of their ancestors are buried. And they're being told, you know, just go work on an oil rig or something. And Shapiro says, well, you're not promised that. He said, all you're promised in America is the adventure of a lifetime. He got excoriated for this 5 years ago. This is still his ideology. So the message to all the people that voted for democratic socialism.
I love the idea of adventure when everything is very manufactured from the moose. Things are not really left to fail with the moose.
Yeah,
but for the rest of you, it's just adventurous.
It's an adventure for you. Right. For you, right? Like you get to have the adventure, right?
We've been discouraged.
You know, we get in-group preference and like, you know, strong sort of like racial identity and like, you know, lobbying organization, all of these things, right?
I'd love to find out how white people were so discouraged from multi-generational households. I would love to find out how that happened, because I am very pro multi-generational households. It just wasn't a thing culturally offered to me.
Yeah, I suspect fuckery in that as well, because I remember that all of a sudden with Gen X, there was just this idea that you just like kicked all of your kids out at 18, right? And then, you know, the boomers would go off like on a vacation or something. And this is really like insane. No one else does that. It's really, really funny, you know, in the UK, because there's so many like Indians and Pakistanis there.
Yeah.
And you meet.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And they're what they call Desi, right? Which means like traditional, right? So a Desi family. Okay. Right. And they don't do any of that shit, right? They have these like communal households. There'll be like 3 generations in like one house. They like stick together. They stick together really, really tight. You know what I mean? It's just the complete opposite.
Because they don't have to pay for childcare because the grandparents take care of the kids. I mean, it's in the cycle of life, everything's worked out for itself. You don't have to send them to a nursing home. They live there because they're still contributing. And the fact that the old person is still contributing uses their brain. It makes them feel wanted. They age more gracefully as opposed to being stuffed in a home.
Yep.
In New York is, if you can't afford to live in the nation's biggest city, well, get lost. You grew up in New York and you can no longer afford to live in New York? Well, get lost. Go move somewhere else. Go move to Ohio or something. Go move wherever. If you can't afford to live in LA and San Francisco and Miami, Chicago, well, go move somewhere else. That's what America's about. You don't deserve to live where you grew up. Now, let's just say first and foremost, is the irony lost on anybody that this is coming from a Jewish Zionist who says that if Israel gets in any trouble, that America needs to go and defend them? That If Israel gets into any trouble, America has to send Israel taxpayer money. So let me get this straight. If you're in America, born in America, you're an American citizen, and you're born in New York City or Chicago, the place where your ancestors lived, if you can't afford to live there, you can't afford housing or transportation or cost of living, you got to get lost then. But if you're a Jew and you live in Israel and you have missiles flying at you, well, then the solution is America has to go and bail you out. In other words, the American taxpayer has no obligation to bail out the American people. The American government has no obligation to the American people. Americans are not entitled to live in America. But Israel is entitled to all of that. If you're an American and it's not comfortable for you in New York, hey man, get lost. Don't expect the American government to help you. But if you're a Jew in Israel and you're in trouble, well, then America has to send you missiles and fight your wars and give you money. Really?
I mean, we're seeing that right now.
Israel's healthcare is paid by America. Israel's defense is paid for by America. Israel's existence in the Middle East is guaranteed by America. The land, quite literally, was promised to them, and we are the guarantors of the promise. But Americans are not guaranteed their own country. Americans are not guaranteed their own city, their own town, by their government. Really?
Yeah, exactly.
And you see, all James Lindsay would have to do is play that 4-minute and 41-second clip and respond to it and say how he's wrong. That's all he'd have to do. None of the kosher centrists are capable of doing that. They're not capable of just playing a video like how Sargon of Akkad does, like how so many right-wingers do. Colin Tomlinson, play the clip, explain how they're incorrect. Should be really easy, right? It's the most rhetorically effective thing one person could possibly do that espouses to be correct so often and how dangerous these people are. Why is that so hard to do? It's ironclad.
Yeah.
It was like with the
crazy.
SNAP. They took away the food benefits, and it's like, okay, well, we're still giving money to Israel, but we're taking away the food benefits in the country.
And this of course is the real problem, right? Like during times of plenty, when everything was going like fine, okay, right, and like everyone had like enough, it wasn't so much of an issue. But now that things are getting dire, right, and the money's running out, and you know, it's becoming like really obvious what the priorities are. And this is the real problem, because all of these universalist principles, Lindsay's like this. It annoys the shit out of me. Every single fucking universalist principle he claims to hold.
Like this too. He says that his Christianity is universalist. Is what Tucker?
No. But these Tucker is different. He does not have an exception for those universalist principles.
Okay, yeah, right.
Lindsay does, right? Every universalist principle that Lindsay holds has an exception for these people specifically, which means it's not universalist. This is sort of the kosher centrist thing. Yes, we're universalists, except for these people.
Oh, well,
right?
Doesn't that seem like the left for the past few generations in the country? That is the backbone of rules for thee, but not for me.
Yes, it's sort of soft universalism with favored client groups, which is not universalism, right? And in practice, what happens is it means you have a stack of client groups, and then everybody else who, you know, are not subject to the same protections, the same benefits, the same privileges, and you call that universalism. But it's not, right? Like it's I mean, you know, I hate to be a leftist.
Didn't you know that some people are more universal than others?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now there was a brief I stand with Ben Shapiro. Oh, do you stand with Ben Shapiro, Artie? Right?
Of course I do. Give me one reason to not stand with him. How could I not stand with him?
James stands with Ben Shapiro, of course. Look at him
sorry,
go.
Is Ben Shapiro like a retarded kid with cancer or something? Like, why do we need this rallying support? Is he getting canceled? Or he's trying to cancel Vish Burrow while saying he stands with Ben Shapiro. What stand for what? What happened to him?
I love this reply. That's because you are a fanny.
Wow. Sometimes the simple ones can just penetrate your soul. Huh?
So this lasted about, I don't know, like half a day or something, right?
What was the goal with that?
I don't know, mate. Shapiro is coming under attack for this thing, and so I stand with Ben Shapiro. It's so leftist.
Warn me.
Yeah. Nosferatu is about to speak.
Nosferatu. Nosferatu.
So we now have some assorted kvetching from Mr. Greenblatt, who basically says that Shapiro is the hero that we need, right? It is Shapiro that's going to like fight the woke right. I don't know about that, bro. I feel like you might need someone a little like sort of more cool with the kids, but I don't know. Also, super chats, $2 from Theodicy Ninja. Did you see the Nick Fuentes interview with Lindsay? Didn't we cover that last week?
We did. And somebody asked, it was horrific, but good, as always.
And King Solo wings again for $10. Crikey. Thank you very much, mate. America changed from farms with 9 kids, also known as workers, to manufacturing, 3 or 4 kids for fun, and now selfish, maybe 1 kid, 9 abortions. Easier way of life and no accountability to get us to this point. Yeah, exactly.
Well, It's almost like the more Christianity went down, the more that kind of behavior increased.
And also the raising the age of consent and child labor laws apparently had like an effect on it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hang on, let's start this up. Oh my
God,
he looks so much like Nosferatu.
But I was having a good time. Did I do something wrong? I can change.
I feel like this screenshot would be banned. Right, like this is another one of these like things where I'm just like,
holy shit, he looks like Uncle Fester from the Addams Family if he lost weight. Look at the circles under his eyes.
He's probably having a very stressful time,
right?
That quote unquote aid that goes from the United States to Israel, particularly the military aid, gets spent on, guess what? Goes from the United States to Israel to get spent back in America, buying American munitions from American companies, creating American jobs. That being said, our relationship is not just a transactional one. Somebody who said that Israel was like an aircraft carrier that can't be sunk, like a sense of our military interests. Again, there could be a transactional reason, there could be a military strategic reason, but ultimately, I believe it's a values-based reason. We are both democracies. We both believe in the sanctity of individuals. We both believe in this view that we have, again, like a greater mission. And so there are aspects of Israel's like political economy that are different than America's political economy, but I think there is a shared fundamental basis that makes us stronger together, that supersedes a particular aid bill or supersedes a military rationale. You need that values basis to remain tight.
But what scares me, Jonathan, is the fact that Tucker Carlson, obviously he's problematic, but the person he was platforming was Nick Fuentes, who's young. And the person who was asking that question to J.D. Vance was a student at the University of Mississippi. And the people about whom Liz McGill was talking are these students. In other words, it seems to me, if I had to make an amateur line about who in the United States is more pro-Israel and who is less pro-Israel, or more specifically, who's more anti-Semitic and who's less anti-Semitic, the older generation, I would think, is more pro-Israel and less anti-Semitic. And the younger generation is where the problems are really arising, which makes me very nervous about what's going to happen in 10, 20, and 30 years when that younger generation takes over the two parties.
You should be nervous. You should be nervous. That is why we need to fight with everything we've got. And so I do think, by the way, the best person to fight back on the woke right, so to speak, is Ben Shapiro and his folks and his Congressman Randy Fine from Florida.
Oh
and
my
his
God.
Senator David Cormier from Pennsylvania. And
what are they going to do? This can't work.
Mate.
That's only going to create a lot of anti-Semitism.
They don't have anyone. And I'm really curious to see like how this evolves. Like, will they try and like get a bunch of like young, hip, like mooish influencers to come along and like I do some like cringe hip hop or something and be like, hello fellow like white kids, what's really, really cool? Supporting Israel. Like you remember like the fucking anti-drug commercials of like the 80s and shit like that just like completely cringe character, mate. If they go that direction, I'm here for it. Holy shit, it's going to be fucking hilarious, mate. Okay, so what else have we got here? This is so this is like quite an interesting thing. So apparently now moos who are anti-Zionist are also anti-Semitic. So I mean, the sort of ground is continually shrinking. If you get what I'm saying, okay.
It's not about politics. This morning we launched a tip line at adl.org NYC. So if you are Jewish and you experience anti-Semitism where you work or where you worship or where you live,
God, pause
you
it.
want to know so we can track it?
Did white people ever get this?
No.
Did we ever get a hotline?
No.
Like, have you ever talked to a white person that went to a black majority school or lived in a black majority neighborhood?
Yeah.
It is way worse than you could possibly fucking imagine, and they're helpless in those environments.
Yeah. No, but they get NGOs and tip lines and hate speech. Well, not in the US. They've been trying to get the hate speech laws up and running, but it's just not working because you guys have the First Amendment. If you, in countries like the UK, oh yeah, they get all that stuff. Deadpool Kid for $5 again. Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Greenblatt, Shapiro will fight the woke right. Shapiro, not physically though, because I got bad asthma and arthritis on my
Dude, they get to use the most inflammatory language. We saw this with Trump. Trump said, go peacefully, but then he also said, like, fight. And then you had this compilation of Democrats saying it. When the same words mean something different, you are among mooery. This is how it's gone for millennia.
Okay. Look, let's skip Greenblatt.
Sure.
We're an hour and a half.
Well, you get nauseous just looking at him.
I get a little nauseous. Makes my asthma, my allergies act up. so this is funny. Okay, so you guys may have missed this. This is fucking hilarious.
So this
genuinely, you want to give us a background on this, Artie?
Yeah, this genuinely pisses me off. So Megyn Kelly shows a clip of Nick Fuentes murdering Ben Shapiro in Grand Theft Auto, okay? Which like sounds silly, right? But think of who she's showing this to, right? It's normies. They've already built up this character of Nick Fuentes and whatnot. That didn't happen. This is a lie. And this fuck suing Vish Burra. That's ridiculous. This should be a fucking lawsuit to say that he killed Ben Shapiro in a video game when he actually didn't do that at all. To malign his character, I don't care what Nick Fuentes could have possibly done. He could have bombed a school full of children. For them to still do this, to defame him, is absolutely fucking disgusting because they will do this to you. Now, she didn't do this on purpose. She's just retarded. She just did what she was told to do. But he didn't kill Ben Shapiro in a video game. In fact, what he did was way funnier than that. And the part that they don't want you to see.
And we have that clip. Okay, so setting it up here.
And I am going to show a video, please forgive me, of one of my first introductions to this guy, Nick Fuentes, and what he was saying about Ben. This is a video of him showing himself playing Grand Theft Auto, right, a video game where you shoot people, and he's pretending that this character in the video is Ben. Let's watch.
Oh, that's funny.
He's laughing like a child.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that makes me laugh and laugh. That's a funny one. What a chance encounter that was. I think I just saw Ben Shapiro.
So what a chance encounter that was. I think I just saw Ben Shapiro, and then it cuts. Okay?
Yep.
Now, what message does that put out to a large audience that he was murdering Ben Shapiro in a video game that makes it seem like he wants to kill him? I mean, think of what the moves were just able to do to try and mobilize people against Vish, okay? Let alone against Nick Fuentes. So let's see what really happened.
But also, I'd just like to point out, this completely elides all of the bad shit that Shapiro did to Fuentes, right? Like, they're just acting like Fuentes would have no reason to have any kind of personal animosity towards Shapiro, right? Whereas those two
Oh
like
my God,
have
right.
actual history, right? So it's
No,
not like
not that those two have a history. It's that Ben Shapiro singled out Nick, called him anti-Semitic since he was 17. Ben Shapiro has been attacking Nick Fuentes since he was 17. And like I said, I don't care what Nick Fuentes has done. You have to realize that it is a conglomerate of people in government and in powerful positions in private entities targeting a 17-year-old for the past 6 or 7 years. Okay. Yeah, that's what I want you to realize. It doesn't matter what he did. They will do this to anyone. They're a small portion of them are doing it to Fishborough right now. Okay. This is, I am very much anti this, and I feel like this hasn't gotten nearly enough attention.
Okay, so this is the real clip, apparently.
Let's see. Maybe I'll take a cruise down this side of the street.
1.5.
He is close. He is near, though. That is true. There he is. Yep.
He finds a
hey,
move.
Ben. You thought you could get away from me the first time, huh? Without debating me? I just want to talk, please. Stop running! I'm not a threat to you. Look, here I am. I showed up. And I just want to talk about ideas, okay? You're the one that loves the marketplace of ideas so much. Just talk to me.
Pause it. So what's so nefarious about this is he wanted to debate Ben Shapiro, and at no point did he shoot and kill Ben Shapiro. He's chasing around a Jewish guy, which you know they all look alike when they wear the same hat and have the same curls. Okay, but he's running around. He's following him, asking to debate him. So this is like pretty evil stuff, right? Because they have to know this.
Now, the other funny thing...
Go, rewind that. So, yeah, when the weapons come out. So watch this. So
the other funny thing is when the cops start shooting at Ben, he's like, no.
Right?
Man, I hope the music in this doesn't get
it's whatever. It's fine.
Do I have the taser? If I had the taser, I'd be able to subdue him.
If I had the taser, I'd be able to subdue him.
I have a net
for non-lethal force.
I don't have anything that's not optical here. Maybe tear. No, on second thought, no. On second thought, bad idea.
Pause it. You know why he's laughing?
Why?
Because he almost pulled out the tear gas by accident. He didn't want to gas him. That's why he's laughing. He goes, nope. On second thought, we're just gonna run and chase him. I don't have anything at all because tear gas popped up. Come on, dude. In your early 20s, when this guy has been targeting you, come on, dude.
Wait. Where's the bit where he defends against the cops?
Right there. Well,
There?
Yeah. This is where shit goes down. Okay. Laughing like a child.
Oh man, Ben, where'd he go? Last I saw, he got ran over by that truck that I had nothing to do with.
I had nothing to do with. He already knows it's under a
I'll meet you at the marketplace. Hey, what's up? I guess you survived. What happened?
Literally nothing. The most mooish thing possible.
Ben, are you okay? This is supposed to be a debate. This is a debate, you monsters. How could you kill him like that? I will avenge Ben Shapiro.
Dude!
I must avenge him. I will defend to the death I may disagree with him, but I will defend to your death his right to speak his mind.
Dude. That is fucking...
Ben Shapiro will be like, I will not debate somebody who kills police officers in Grand Theft Auto, okay?
Bro,
such a good impression.
That humanizes him. That makes him absolutely... Like, imagine how frustrated you would be that your reputation's been tarnished since you were 17, 18 years old. I think he might be 20 here, 21. The way he's laughing, like when you get older, your voice gets deeper. His voice is still high pitched there.
Shit posting stream, right? Like it's so obvious. He's
And
just
they made
like,
it seem like he killed Ben Shapiro, dude. Oh my god! Like
Honestly.
that's gonna put a fucking bounty over someone's head. He built up his own infrastructure to protect himself. Okay, but this reminds me of remember when CNN doxed the person that made a meme about them?
I do remember that. Yeah,
fucking vicious, dude. And like,
Yeah.
it's you can't respect it.
Right. So this, I'm going to finish this off, then we're going to move on to the Tucker thing. This is just Fuentes basically saying that Shapiro is finished.
Shapiros, the Levins, the Wexlers, we're just laughing in your face. We're not listening. You're Jewish, you're pro-Israel, you're fucking cringe. Suffice to say, we're not listening anymore. You had your chance. You had goodwill. You even had censorship and all sorts of other built-in advantages in the media market, and you blew it with your disingenuousness, with your omissions and your lies, your hypocrisy, your cancel culture. You blew it. Think about the advantage that they had. A guy like Ben Shapiro, he had no rivals. And Tucker pointed this out. Shapiro has a deal with Facebook. I imagine he has a deal with YouTube. So while everybody was being censored by Facebook and YouTube, Shapiro was being promoted.
I mean, is this the marketplace of ideas that I keep hearing so much about, right? Where like everyone is free to compete on equal ground? Is this the meritocracy that I keep hearing about?
Remember what Levin said about the marketplace? Like the marketplace, you can cancel stuff. Remember that? He was talking about the marketplace of ideas, and he was like, the market is what we say it is.
Yeah, it's like who stocks the marketplace of ideas? You know what I mean, right? Like to the normie, it's like, oh, it's just the marketplace of ideas, right? Like let 100 flowers bloom, let 100 ideas contend, right? And then in the background, you're like, no, not this idea, not that idea, not this idea, right? Like, fucking hell, man, it's so disingenuous.
Know what a good deal that is? That would be like if you went into business selling hamburgers and the government said, we're going to subsidize Burger King and McDonald's is not allowed to obtain a business license. That's the deal the Daily Wire had going. They were like the #2 advertiser on Facebook for a decade.
Bro, seriously.
Right?
Fuck, that's a lot of advertising money.
But that's what I'm saying is how much power Ben Shapiro has to be able to malign someone like that, to still play the victim like he wants to kill me. It's fucking crazy.
And they couldn't hang on to it. They couldn't hang on to it. Imagine having that much power and doing such a shitty job with it.
I know, you'd probably have to be a fucking piece of shit. You'd probably have to be a rat fink, and people don't like you very much.
God damn it.
Something like that. The #2 most prolific ad buyer on the platform. Meanwhile, and that's the biggest platform. Everybody else was banned. And for 10 years, they were the beneficiary of cancel culture and all those other structural benefits. And what they did with that is they just abused the good faith and the goodwill of the people. They showed their hand, which is they don't care about Americans. They only care about Israel. They were hypocrites. They lied. They were disingenuous. If anybody was critical of their position, they were dismissive or they tried to destroy that person, like myself. And I said on Twitter earlier tonight, I said, Ben Shapiro's finished. You're done, little man. America has had enough of Ben Shapiro. We see you for what you are, and now we're done with you. Americans are not listening to you. We don't care what you have to say because we know that you don't care about us. So you have contempt for us, and honestly, at this point, the feeling is mutual. So
pause it. This is the position of most people. We were brought up with this liberal universalism, right? And we realize this isn't fair and it's cutthroat. That's all it is. We were all generationally wet behind the ears, and we are playing catch up fucking quickly, buddy.
Yeah, but the assertion seems to be that even though they have abused this power, you're still supposed to respect them, right? Like it's so fucking ridiculous.
Today he had another great clip defending H-1B visas. Nice. So the message from the Shapiro and Levin crowd is 50-year mortgages. If you can't afford to buy a home in the city you grew up in, then you should leave. H-1B visas, which is a scam for cheap foreign labor, are actually necessary. Oh, and if anybody criticizes Israel, they're a Nazi and they need to shut up, and we're going to war with Iran. That's a really winning message. Unfortunately for them, now we have free speech on the internet, so there's other people around that can challenge that.
Did you see what Trump said?
Oh, no, what?
Oh, dude,
About the visas, or
MAGA's done, bro. I'll have to look at fucking where I found it, but it is Trump is done. He said something along the lines of, we need foreign labor, that we can't do it without them. It's over. It's Vance has to start distancing himself and go religious, because Trump's not religious and he got this far without it. And it's gonna be up to Vance in the future.
Man, it's gonna be, the next 3 years are gonna be fucking spicy.
Yeah,
they are going to be so goddamn spicy. Like, speaking of spicy, the Tucker cost has entered its. How long has this been going on for now? 2 weeks?
Dude, you saw a video from 5 days ago and you went, when we were prepping, and he goes, that was only 5 days ago. That's how much of a whirlwind all of this is, dude. Just setting up the timeline's crazy.
Do you want to be a content creator and get mental health injury from watching retarded stuff on the internet? You too could give yourself brain damage. It's a great life. Oh my God. No. Actually, I can't, I don't know, man. There's just something, my autism kind of like loves this, because I honestly, I don't know how this is going to turn out. Right. And whenever there's like a big social kind of like rupture or something, and I don't know the way the pieces are going to like land, I get like really interested in it and like really autistic about it until it becomes clear which way the pieces are going to land. And then I sort of like lose interest in it. I was like that with COVID. I was like that with Ukraine. Right. So because everything's up in the air and it's not clear which way this is going to shake out, I'm really interested in this at the moment. Right. So, Tucker Carlson, if that is your real name, went on to platform more hate by just, talking the way he does. Now, I just want to make it clear for the chat. Tucker is using some samples here from Mark Levin, but Mark Levin is not capable of hate. Okay, right? Hate only happens
with white people.
White people are hating minorities. It's a bit like racism, you see, right? You know how like white, you can't be racist against like white people.
Where did they learn that trick from?
Because they have systemic power. And I think the definition of hate is actually very, 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 very similar. Mark Levin can't be hateful towards Gentiles. Because the Gentiles have systemic power, allegedly. Look, I don't know. Just shut the fuck up, okay, right? Okay.
What do they want to do? Where are they taking this country? They're destroying it. Carlson, Owens, Kelly, Bannon, it is a time for choosing. You pick the good guys or the bad guys.
Oh.
You pick America or you pick the third right.
Always with the catastrophizing. Right, like always
like catastrophizing, like friend-enemy distinction, if you ask me.
Like if you criticize us, right, you'll be at Mustache Man before breakfast. Like it's just, oh God.
Because that's what they do, because that's what they are. They are this ethereal virus that infects people. So what do they always position the woke right as? It's this Hitler particles, right? That could all formulate at any time when he comes back. That's what they call it.
Mustache Man particles.
Yes.
Do you think you could build like a Mustache Man particle accelerator, right? And like you like bash like two like particles together. Like
anyone here can Google Hitler particles and see that I didn't just make that up. That's how ridiculous it is.
Wait, is that a real thing? No. Wait, I refuse to believe that's a real thing.
It's not from the Moose. I believe it's communist influence. Oh, wait a minute. So it is the Moose.
Oh my God. So on the lich for 20, I think 200 Argentinian money.
Thank you,
Thank
mate.
you very much, Solon. The marketplace of ideas looks more like a discotheque. You have to pay to get in and still have sections cordoned off if you're not in the cool people list. And then you watch people get in through the fire exit to the VIP.
Oh my God.
Just bouncer outside. Like, yeah.
What? That analogy just kept going. He had me at the beginning and then he beat me over the head. That was good, dude.
Yeah, it was a great analogy. Thank you very, very much, mate. All right. Okay, let's keep going.
They're not MAGA. They're not conservative. In fact, they're more Marxist, Islamist, America-hating, Jew-hating thugs than anything else. And let me educate them briefly. The Babylonians couldn't kill the Jews. The Persians couldn't kill the Jews. The Romans couldn't kill the Jews. Hitler couldn't kill the Jews, and by this I mean eliminate them.
Aha.
You think you're puny little asses? They're going to be able to do it?
Dude, we just don't want war with Iran, right? And we want like everyone to be treated equally. And they're like, oh my God, do you want to kill us? Like, dude, just calm the fuck down. Could you just stop? It's honestly like a psycho girlfriend. You know what I mean, right? You like ask some like innocuous thing, and she's like, "You want to break up with me, don't you? You want to break up with me?
You want to fuck other people, don't you?"
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Look at this freeze frame of Tucker, mate.
Peak.
Oh my God.
peak Tucker reaction.
Oh wait! I got to clip this as well, right? This reminds me of the Sydney Sweeney meme.
Kill the Jews?
I missed it.
Your first thought is, wait a second, how do we get to that? No, just don't want a regime change war against Russia. By the way, a war in which Jews would die, presumably, both in the U.S. military and the IDF. Like, no, don't want to kill anybody. Actually, that's kind of the point. You want to kill the Jews? So the first thing you notice is like the total inversion of what the argument actually is. It's an argument about to what extent should U.S. military power be used on behalf of another country, not the United States. That's it. That's the debate. And all of a sudden it becomes the Babylonians, the Nazis trying to kill the Jews. So again, it's an inversion. He's accusing his opponents of really what he wants, as always.
Well, this Christmas.
Yeah, right. That's what he got me for Christmas.
Now we've got some more Mark Levin. This guy is just crazy, man.
They're letting him do it.
This
Like,
is our
why does he have a handler?
I
That's what I want to know.
He needs a handler, right? Like someone needs to get Mark Levin. Oh my God, can you imagine being Mark Levin's handler? Right? Like you're trying to explain to him, like, you're doing more damage for the cause, right? And he'd be like, "Yeah, fuck you. Don't tell me what to say."
He
Just
said
like,
to James Lindsay, "Hold my beer." He really wants the spotlight badly.
Yeah.
This is our country.
Come on.
We're celebrating our country. Every July 4th, we're celebrating the principles that undergird our country. If you reject Judaism and you reject Christianity and you reject the link of the two, you reject the Bible. If you reject
heresy detected.
Dude, but you see where like queerness comes from. They just make up rules. They're all alchemists, and now they're true. That's what it is. There's no discussion. He doesn't want to have a discussion with anybody. He doesn't want to have a debate with anybody. This is just what it is.
This is very offensive to a lot of Christians, by the way. Like,
oh, good to know.
This is why they're not getting traction with this kind of stuff. Like things like the rise of the Orthodox Church and the rise of like traditional Catholicism. This is just completely untrue, right? It's like trying to say that Christianity and Hinduism are basically the same thing. Then they're not. They're very, very different, except because of the, how do I put this delicately, the shared history, combative history between Christianity and Judaism. It's even more explosive, trying to force this.
Judaism and Christianity and the brotherhood and the sisterhood of the two, not only are you rejecting our founding, you're rejecting our country. You're pushing some other agenda, whatever that agenda may be. This is our...
Yeah. And again, we see this tactic a lot, basically, right? Our interests are your interests. Okay.
You love that one.
It's not. You see this just all the time. When it comes to certain issues, they are a highly ethnocentric, inward-looking group. When it comes to persuading everybody else, they're like, well, actually, right, like our interests are your interests. Like we are America, we are democracy, we are all of these vaguely defined things, right? If you don't believe in, whatever we're saying, you don't believe in democracy, you don't believe in America.
It's always an ethereal we. It's just
Yes.
whatever they have to be to do what they want to do.
Yes. This is actually like a classic psychological trick that you see in nudge theory. So in the UK, for example, they started doing this thing where instead of the NHS, the National Health Service, they call it our NHS. And a lot of people were mocking this. And this was a deliberate nudge theory tactic to try and basically get everyone on board and say, like, it's not the NHS, it's our NHS. You see what I'm saying, right? It's this idea of like alighting, because you might say, well, I don't want to go to the NHS because, I might, freaking die because like there's all these horror stories circulating now. And like, oh, it's ours. This principle of trying to basically say collective ownership.
It's also a way for the elites to be there with you. We're not elites. We're all in this together. There's no hierarchy.
Yeah, exactly. We're all in this together, bro. Deadpool Kid for $5 Thank you very much. Mate. The other 11 tribes of Israel. Are we sure he's related to us? Did you know? Are you sure he's related to us? Right. Thanks very much, DPK.
Thank you.
Our history is not the history of all the rest of these European countries. Even though we imported some of their great ideas, particularly from Britain and France, ancient Greece, and who else did we import our ideas from? Who else? And it was crucial. The ancient Hebrews and the Christians. America is different for a couple of key reasons. The Judeo-Christian belief system and history, and the Enlightenment.
What did they teach us?
The fusion of the two. There's not another country on the face of the earth, bar perhaps Israel, that has been founded on such a basis. Judaism, ancient Hebrews, are talked about all the time by the founders. Our history.
So you see, right?
They did mention Hebrews in the way that it's been a conversation of like old world discussing other religions. They also talked about Hindus.
actually, it goes a bit deeper than that. When Lutheranism was around in Germany, there was a sort of big explosion in studies of the Masoretic text, which was the Hebrew version of the Bible. And a lot of priests and other Christians learned Hebrew and studied the Masoretic text. Turned out this was a bad idea. Stone Choir, which is like a really good podcast if you're a Christian, they did like a whole series. It turns out there are very significant differences between the Masoretic text and the Septuagint, which is the Greek version of the Bible that was being used up to this time. So this whole idea that the Hebrew Bible is the oldest and the most genuine comes out of this idea, and there are very, very serious problems with it. And this then got folded into, the Enlightenment and all this kind of like other stuff. It's, it's a really, really fascinating story.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you're not going to believe this, guys. I personally completely disavow this kind of behavior. Mark Levin got trolled. Oh my God, I can't believe how immature some of you are. I hope none of the people in our chat was responsible for this, because I can't believe. How could you possibly troll such an august figure like Mark Levin, bros? Like, come on.
Brainwashing, which is what Professor Ellis was just talking about.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for your call, my friend. And by the way, I know you're a young person. I know a few young people myself. We call them our kids. Right, Mr. Producer?
I'm going to go
Good
out.
calls.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and suggest that Mark Levin's kids are probably not broadly representative of Generation Z, right? I might be wrong there, but I'm just,
They're also like 48. Like,
Yeah, exactly. I had kids once. I don't know what all the kids are going on about.
Nonetheless, well, let's see if we can slip in one more here. Timothy, Dallas, Texas, on the Mark Levin app. Go right ahead, please.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I
sir.
appreciate you reading the quote from your book at the beginning of the show, and I think it ties into what the governor had to say, and that is there is this alliance in between Nick Fuentes and the Groypers and scoopity whoop poop poopy scoopty whoop poop.
That's very
whoop,
funny. And the guy hangs on.
Come on. That is funny. Fuck you.
Oh, yeah, real funny. He said poopy. Yeah, that's always going to be funny.
I think that's fucking hilarious. You can call me 5 years old if you want, right? But like, one of the reasons why trolling works on people like this is because they've got no fucking sense of humor. Like, you know, if you just had a sense of humor, you would be able to diffuse this like very, very easily, right? No, I'm serious, right? You could just turn around and be like, oh yes, the poopty scoopty whoopty. Yes, I read their paper. It was very, very fast. Like you could
just no sell it and go, that's it, dude. That's all you got, really. Wow.
Yeah.
That's all you got, dude. You waited that long to say that. That's it. Come on, you got something better than that. Come on, give me something better than that.
I think humor would be a far better way of diffusing it personally.
How long has he been on hold, Mr. Producer? Guy's been on hold like an hour or two. Hey, you know what? What? I'm going to tell the Mark Levin show there is this alliance between the Groypers and Scoopity-Doo and Scoopity-Doo.
Can we agree that his impression of a Groyper is just a Mark Levin impression?
Oh my God.
He didn't even do an impression of... I'm expecting him to do an impression of a Groyper, but he just sounds exactly like Mark Levin being pissed off on stage.
Yeah, it's like Mark Levin like doing a parody of Mark Levin.
That's all it sounded like. Because when I was making fun of him earlier, I was sounding like this. And then he makes fun of a Groyper, and he's like, yeah, poopity doopity. Like, who are you making fun of right now?
Doopity. You don't want the scoopity poopity doopity now, do you?
Yeah, no, you're doing Mark Levin's impression of a Groyper, which is just Mark Levin. It's pretty meta at this point.
Yeah. It's like parodyception. Right? It's like a parody wrapped inside a parody, stuffed inside a parody. Oh man, that's pretty deep, bro.
And you know what? I could have cut that out, but I wanted you to hear it.
Yeah, or you're a boomer.
I'm sure his family is very proud of him.
I mean, I'd be proud of my kid if he trolled.
Is your family, Mark Levin, is your family proud of you with how you behave in public? You fucking fat, stupid psycho. Are you kidding me, dude?
The kid comes in, Dad, I just trolled Mark Levin. We're like, nice one. Nice one.
Who in Mark Levin's family didn't put their face into their hands when he was sounding like Mustache Man on stage? That's what I want to know.
I mean, look, the kid was on hold for an hour. That takes dedication, right? I thought that was like the whole point, right? That kids today, they need like more dedication, more stick-to-itness, right? They need to like pick a task and like persevere with it. I think, you know.
I know, but he's acting like the kid's mom would be like, did you wait 2 hours to make a joke to Mark Levin? I raised you better than that. I raised you to respect every word. Mark, like what are you talking about?
Right.
What is this world he's created in his head?
In this house, we respect Mark Levin. How dare you, sir?
Yeah, it's on the wall. There's a fucking picture that says "Live, Laugh, Levin," right?
In this house, we believe.
What the fuck is going on in his mind, dude? I want him to draw a picture of what he's seeing in his mind.
Oh my God, that picture. Oh, see, he's got a fucking smug face going on as well. Oh my God.
Look at those beady little eyes. Oh my God.
If I'm better than you was like a picture, you know what I mean? Oh
right?
My God.
And that's him trying to look approachable.
Yes. We'll let some of those few from time to time. We'll let them through. We notice, Mr. Producer does, that the ones who wait the longest are the nut jobs.
All of this is
They
cope.
just are. I really got to get through. I got to,
That's you! You sound like that!
I got to get through on this. I got to really tell him.
That's you!
And the guy didn't even sound that young, did he, Rich? 30s or 40s, maybe?
Dude, this is like somebody broke into his house and he's like, yeah, so sometimes, we'll let people break into our house every once in a while. All this is a post hoc rationalization. It happened to you. You got caught. And he's like, yeah, we totally let that happen on purpose. I could have. No, you couldn't have. It happened. Okay, you can't get yourself out of that. You can't move yourself out of that one.
Poopty scoopty doopty strikes again.
And that's how mad it made him. So now imagine how mad he gets when Nick Fuentes talks shit about him.
€2 from Deneska. Don't forget to offer your firstborn to Moloch. Oh, thank you very much. That's
I
some
almost
good
forgot.
advice.
I had
there.
that written down.
Okay. We got another completely, totally legit, absolutely not AI.
We are on the third hour, just so you know.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody believes a damn word I'm saying. Maybe I should just move to Israel. Nobody believes.
Oh my God! It says life, liberty, and Levin.
Does it literally say that?
Oh my God! Parallel thinking over here.
Okay, so we're getting into the third hour. Okay, right. We'll just finish on this. And Tucker is basically saying that the real fight is not against Mark Levin, but to avoid becoming hateful like Mark Levin. And I think Tucker's got a good point here.
The fight is not against Mark Levin and the many Mark Levins out there, the screamers, the slanderers, the impugners of character, the liars. The real fight is within ourselves. The real fight is against our own nature, our own natural inclination to, in the face of Mark Levin, become Mark Levin. And the cost is to us. You hurt yourself. Don't become evil, because what's the point? And the only way to prevent yourself from becoming that person is by admitting that you've acted like that person and apologizing for it sincerely, not in a fake way. Oh, I'm sorry if you didn't like it. No, I'm sorry, because that's wrong. And it's exactly what I don't like about someone else, and I don't like it about myself when I do it. And I'm going to try not to do it again. And of course, I will do it. Probably by the end of the show, I'll do it again, because I'm prone to that, because I get mad.
I'm going to do it again.
But we need to say every single time we do that, no, I'm sorry I did that, and I'll try my best not to do it again.
Right. So actually, we've got more Tucker clips. Oh my God. Okay. Well, we're getting up to because we've got to get to this like crazy Yenta. It's like coming up as well. But I've got some good clips of like Tucker. Okay. Oh, we're gonna go over time.
Give me 2 minutes. I just gotta piss. So play it.
Okay.
Okay. Be right back.
Is already there. And we know that because Mark Levin has repeatedly, and he's not the only one, but he's the most blunt, has repeatedly called for just murdering civilians, children in Gaza because they're Amalek or whatever. They're stained by blood guilt. The Prime Minister of Israel said exactly the same thing. They are guilty by virtue of how they were born. So that, by definition, includes women and children. So Mark Levin is not clever enough to keep the implications of these views to himself, and he said them repeatedly on television, just to give you a sense about how Mark Levin feels about human life and the human soul. Watch this.
And I'm supposed to, what, shed crocodile tears for what's going to happen to these people? I'm not. Maybe I'm the only one who will voice it, but I'm not. Israel has every right to throw every damn thing it has at barbarians. And if there are innocent people, quote-unquote civilians, who are killed, then maybe they ought to organize to take out the government they elected. Tapper and the others are saying there's 2 million Palestinians in Gaza. They're not all terrorists. They don't all believe in Hamas. They really have no choice. Let me ask you a question. Is that how we treated the German people when we were fighting the Third Reich? Well, they're not all Nazis. I mean, you got to fight to win and survive. You can't sit there and figure all that stuff out. Oh, but don't hurt the civilians. Look, we have to defend ourselves. The Israelis have to defend ourselves. The free world has to defend itself. And if there's collateral damage, well, that's too bad.
There's collateral damage. That's too bad. What were you doing being in a war zone anyway? It's not like we blockaded Gaza off and built walls around it. You were free to leave anytime you wanted. Oh my God. Like, this is such fucking bad optics. Like, really, really, really bad. Big Chris for $2. I wish God loved me and birthed me one chosen poop. Thanks very much, Big Chris. Oh my God. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah, right. I'll keep going. I mean, look at the look on Tucker's face.
I love it, dude. I'm very convinced that he has mastered their mood tactics because he's very good at concern trolling. He's very good at being backhanded, and he throws some like very sleight of hand daggers in there.
Yeah.
25 years ago in this country, people didn't talk that way. They didn't. It was a different landscape, different expectations. The idea of blood guilt, because that's what he's describing there. You should be killed by virtue of who your parents are, who your grandparents were, by virtue of how you were born. You should be killed. You don't have a right to live. You're guilty because you were born, which of course leads to collective punishment and genocide. That's the basis of genocide right there, that attitude. That was considered totally un-Christian and un-American because it is. And if someone said something like that on television, I mean, he'd be probably pulled off the air for that. You should kill kids because you don't like their parents? That is their attitude. That's the Israeli government's attitude. Well-documented attitude. We're paying for that. And you could say, well, you don't have to hate Israel, but that behavior is not better than Hamas at all. In fact, it's kind of the same, right? Killed civilians. They came in and killed people at a music festival. Bibi, turns out, let them in. We found out today in the Knesset. But whatever you think of what happened on October 7th, Israeli civilians were killed. That's terrible.
Do you
We're
see how
against
he
that. We have to be against that, and we're no better.
How he just fucking skates through that, dude. Oh, they fucking hate that. Oh, they fucking hate that because he has the full plausible deniability of everything he's saying. He says it like it's a fucking fact, but he says it in this tone. He has, Trump has a tone to how he says things that lets him get away with things. He has his own Tucker tone. Everyone has to find their own tone to get away with saying these things.
Tucker is just on fire. Like, I mean, it's just amazing to see. I can't believe he started mentioning Amalek. Right?
You were just talking to me about that, I believe, 4 days ago on the phone.
Yeah, because it's a real thing, and there's a lot of really weird shit in Judaism, right? Like the Judeo-Christian thing they try and sort of push on you is that Judaism is basically Christianity with like weird hats, but it's not at all. There's tons of weird shit. It's actually like really fascinating, but it's not the same thing as Christianity, like, at all.
So why the hostility? Well, maybe because if you keep talking about the so-called social issues, which are not limited to abortion and pornography and gay marriage, the trans issue, they get pretty quickly to economics, to usury, to lending money and interest. And most people, including me, are not against lending money and interest.
Oh no, Tucker's talking about usury. Shut it down, boys. Shut it down.
It is pretty, but here's the thing. The beautiful thing is, that gets blamed on capitalism, right? So we have the Moos instilling usury, and then we have the communists going, look at capitalism, look at how predatory capitalism is. So we're getting it from both sides.
Look at that freeze frame.
Dude.
I'm clipping all of these as reaction gifs. I'm going to start posting these on fucking Twitter.
What a react.
Tucker is sad. sad Tucker.
Conceptually. But it depends on what interest rate it's being loaned at. So there are payday loans in this country that are 600% annually. 600% interest annually? And who's taking payday loans in this? Well, poor people are. And they're never getting out of it. They're car loans. They're credit card loans. There's private credit. You used to call it loan sharking. At exorbitant rates so high that people will never get out from under them. They're enslaved by it. It's called debt slavery. It's 100% real. It's not an ideological point. It's just an obvious observation. And it was one of the observations that Charlie Kirk was making on a daily basis before he was assassinated, which is interesting.
Tucker is flying very close to the sun here, bros.
He knows how to just literally tightrope walk the line. Because the way he's saying it, what he's saying is technically true. But like with Trump is like too vague when he does this, right? Because he has to be like very safe. Tucker is being subversive more than he is vague, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think the issue is that his opponents are like, no, we do the subversion, right? You don't get to be subversive, right? We have the monopoly on
this is why it's the great kvetching. Anti-Semite, right? This is why. That's all they have. All they have is their one defensive tactic.
Feeling that way about someone in your own country. Imagine having that level of contempt for a fellow American. You don't even know anything about the person. It's young people, they're not entitled to live where they want. They'll live where BlackRock tells them they can live. It's like, whoa. If you had a thought like that, I've had some ugly thoughts. I just admitted having some ugly thoughts. Boy, I would try and push it back and not express it. Ben says it without any embarrassment because he means it. That's exactly right, because he means it. Whew. I don't think that you can win a popular debate with that attitude, because irrespective of the content of your sentence, people can feel the loathing that the speaker has for them. Ben Shapiro does not care about you at all. Is not even pretending to care about you. So again, it really doesn't matter what he's selling. That guy is not going to make the sale if people are free to buy whatever they.
He's using their tactic. Now, they call you hateful, okay?
Yeah.
So you hate. That's what the left does. That's what the kosher centrists do. What we do on the right is they don't care about you. That's our version of that. Because it has to be done. Tactically.
Yeah.
But we don't have hate, right? We have Christianity and caring about your fellow man, right? So, like, he really has, like, it's not Judeo-Christian, it's Christian Judeo. It's Christian judo, okay? He is Christianizing these tactics, I think, beautifully. It's deeply subversive what he's doing.
Why do you think it's Judeo-Christianity? Why do you think the Judeo part is like first? Right? Because oh my God.
Just to fuck with you. Just to fuck with you specifically.
Skin for $5 Australian. Crikey. Thank you very much, mate. Wonder if Mark would be okay if he was collateral damage in a hit or being added to the Clinton list. Oh, but that would never happen. Yeah.
Well, no, if he was collateral damage, it'd be anti-Semitic.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It'd be a terrible, terrible loss, obviously.
They want. It's like, I don't know what that guy's selling, but he doesn't like me. I can feel it right away. He doesn't care at all about me at all. And he thinks so little of me, he's not even going to like put on the dog. He's not even going to like try to pretend to care about me. And a guy like that, he really needs censorship and bullying to succeed, because the free market does not reward him like that
fucking
at all, ever, because people don't like it.
Kosher
Why would they
centrists play that, acting like he said Ben Shapiro needs to be bullied? Did you see them do that?
I did not. I did
not.
not.
Oh my fucking God. It's what's her name? Brit something. Hold on. Give me.
Oh, you mean No Soup for Knowles or whatever her name is? Oh yeah. I see her on my timeline.
So there was a couple of that and the Alaki Yakabaway guy. Moo. They both posted that, and all of the comments were like, "Hey, I agree with you. I don't like Tucker, but you're lying right now." No one fell for it because all they heard was he needs to be bullied. That's all they heard. And even the people that follow them, dude, the spell is like broken. All of their followers were like, "Hey, dude, we agree with you, but you're just lying about him." It was incredible.
Okay, so we also have this clip as well. God, these are long clips, dude. I had no idea they'd be like quite so long.
I'll know what to pick out.
Okay.
And it's interesting because people like Levin and Ben Shapiro, who at one point had this like media empire propped up by Facebook, the Daily Wire, with some good people on it. You know, it's fine. It's fine. But Ben Shapiro spent, I don't know, a decade posing as someone who actually cared about your concerns as an American. He did it imperfectly. There were flashes that he didn't really care. But he's like, no, I'm a conservative. I'm a conservative. I'm not just interested in the fortunes of one tiny country in the Middle East with a population of 9 million. No, I have a lot of interests. I really care about this country, and I'm against the trans movement or whatever. But increasingly, as everyone's gotten more hysterical and prone to sort of blurting out the truth, that veil has dropped, and you can see what Ben Shapiro really, really cares about. So this is a very revealing exchange that took place 6 days ago, last Thursday, on stage with Megyn Kelly. Ben Shapiro was just sitting there being interviewed by Megyn.
Did we play this already? I can't remember. My brain is full of clips.
Oh, no. Also, Nick Fuentes mentioned that about the Facebook thing, so we don't even necessarily need to show that part.
Right. No. Well, he's talking about Venezuela and how like Venezuela has like banned usury and pornography and stuff like that. And Ben Shapiro's like, I don't give a shit. We'll play it.
Kelly and said something. He said something like, well, Tucker Carlson's, for Maduro, the communist leader of Venezuela, who I guess we're on the way to killing or something, forcing regime changing him. And he defended Maduro. Didn't, actually. And Megyn Kelly says, well, Tucker said in his show that Maduro, most people didn't know this, whatever his many faults, I wouldn't hire him as an economist, okay? But whatever his many faults, has the most socially conservative country probably in the hemisphere. So Venezuela is just a fact. I mean, I didn't make this up. I'm not in charge of Venezuela. Just noticing.
He's just noticing, bro.
I'm telling you. I'm just noticing.
Just noticing.
Like, you have to think he's had writers. So he has writers. He's so on the schnoz with what he's saying.
Oh my God, no wonder they're fucking seething.
Venezuela has banned pornography, banned abortion, banned gay marriage, banned sex changes, and banned usury.
Ooh, you're not allowed to do that. Ooh.
You don't have credit cards with 40% interest in Venezuela. Okay. Ben Shapiro responded this way.
Tucker's made the point, I'm not going to here to be Tucker's defender, but he's made the point that Maduro is culturally conservative.
Who gives a shit? The guy's a communist dictator.
Oh yeah, this is good.
Everyone in his country is eating dog. He's shipping fentanyl to the United States to kill Americans. Why do I give a shit whether he's anti-LGBTQ rights?
Who gives a shit? I do. I'm not moving to Venezuela. I'm not pro-Maduro. But I care about that. Why wouldn't I care about that? I've got kids. Like, first of all, I'm against abortion. Sorry.
Man, where's the bit where he talks about like I've got all of this like listed in my goddamn show notes.
It'll probably just come up organically.
Right, 58 minutes. Oh, we're running a bit long on time. Surprise. It must be this one.
What you got, bruv?
Oh shit! Sorry, did
Yep.
I not hit the?
No.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
This is another great pause face.
Dude, he's a machine.
Oh my god.
But I think it's deeper than that. It's like, how dare you tell me when I should retire? Who are you exactly? Who gave you the moral authority to judge when I retire? That's insane. You're like a child who's got to deal with Facebook, or whatever, whoever you are. You're not God. You have no right to talk to me like that. But you do because you have no respect for me. You have no love for me at all. And it does kind of point to the core problem, not with Ben Shapiro, who will not be a factor in America in 5 years. I can promise you that. Or Mark Levin. Let's hope he gets better. No, it points to the problem with their leaders.
Pause it.
The people they lead.
Dude,
that's it right there.
Do you understand how fucking sleight of hand that was? Did you hear what he said about Mark Levin? I hope he gets better. No one ever. What does he have, dude? That is so fucking good.
He's so good at the backhanded compliment.
Oh,
He is a fucking master. Oh my god.
I hope people didn't hear
that.
I guarantee it.
They have no love for the people they lead. And all leadership is based on the patriarchal model. The father is a good father because he loves his children. He may make mistakes, but ultimately he comes back to true north because he loves them. That's what keeps him honest, his sincere love for his children. That is the model for all leadership. That's the model for leadership in the military, in a company. That's the model for rhetorical leadership. You want people to follow you? You want to sell your ideas to them? You want to convince them that what you're saying is true? Show some love for them. Demonstrate that you love them. You care about them. Why are we doing this? Because we think it's better for you. Shapiro and all of these guys, they don't make an effort to do that because they don't feel that way at all. Shut up, Carroll. You're a Nazi.
Dude, when I first heard that, I put it on a loop in the Telegram for like 2 seconds. I listened to it like 20 times in a row. Oh my god.
I mean, Tucker is making an excellent point here, right? Which is that one of the big problems with the current system is that these people make very, very bad rulers, right? Like then if they were competent, if they were a competent rulership class, I don't think anyone would really care. But they clearly have no love for the people that they rule over, and they institute policies that are directly damaging to them. You know, if I really don't think that any of this would be a problem if they were effective rulers, but they're not. You know,
there's no faith in them at all whatsoever.
Okay, this is oh yeah, right. Hang on, we've got to keep going with this one.
Give us the money for our preferred little country, or else we're going to denounce you. Man, those attitudes are incompatible with leadership and, in fact, with democracy itself. You can't have a country of 350 million people governed by boutique goals and concerns. I really care so much about this thing, and you better care about it too, or else I'm going to attack you and deplatform you. It doesn't work. It's illegitimate, actually. And if you keep it up, you're flirting with, real backlash, like a real one. Not Nick Fuentes, like a real one. So cool it.
So cool, man.
Listen to other people. Don't treat them like cattle. Treat them
Something
like
bad's going to happen to you.
And finally, the last lesson to learn from all of this is that there is no Amalek. Deuteronomy describes a tribe that is beyond redemption and must be killed, period, because they have blood guilt. Their DNA, as Mark Levin explained on Twitter, makes them evil.
Now this is a really, really, inside point that Tucker is making here.
I don't
about
believe that was Mark Levin. It was somebody else. It was Josh Hammer that said that it's in the European DNA that they're evil.
The last lesson to learn from all of this is that there is no Amalek. Deuteronomy.
It's Amalek, you anti-Semitic jerk.
Oh, well, there you go. It's Amalek, apparently, right? Thank you very much, random Moorish commentator. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, right, just a little bit of background. Amalek was, I believe, the name of a ruler whose tribe attacked the Moors as they were leaving Egypt. And it has become essentially a proxy in modern Muaism for a group of people that must be completely extirpated, right? They must be killed, their children killed, their women killed, their livestock, everything. And it's become like a placeholder for whoever happens to be the current enemy du jour, right? So, during World War II, it was the Germans. Then after World War II, it became ESO, which is sort of like broadly the whites. And then after October 7th, it became Ishmael, which is, the Muslims. So this is one of the big differences between Christianity and Judaism. There's no concept really like that in Christianity, right? That there's like a group of people that need to be completely extirpated, that need to be destroyed completely down to their ashes. And this is one of the sort of like big sort of unspoken differences between Christianity and Judaism. And in case you think I am joking about ESO or the whites occupying the place of Amalek, this has changed recently. Get a load of this.
In America today, we have white supremacy. In the Torah, we had Amalek. Amalek is seen as the eternal enemy of our people, whose members found strength by making us suffer. Therefore, when the Lord your God grants you safety from all your enemies around you, and the land that the Lord your God is giving to you as a hereditary portion, you shall blot out the memory of Amalek from under heaven.
Ooh.
Do not forget. Our rabbinic sages parse these sentences and derive two distinct meanings. Blotting out the memory of Amalek is a military command, literally to destroy Amalek. Now, facing today's Amalek, we are reminded that the Torah calls us not just to escape, but to extirpate Amalek. We are commanded to do real and literal battle against it. That means coming off the bench in the fight against white supremacy. It means putting our reputations and our money and our physical bodies on the line. But also so that we are ready to answer people with radically destructive and incoherent versions of history, so that we can counter white supremacists, so that we can counter Amalek and blot them out by retaining on our lips and in our records their history. By being bearers of history, we can help guide the future. Blotting out Amalek need not merely be about military conquest. Equally important is ideological victory. And nothing could more readily counter white supremacy than a Jewish community proudly helping our Muslim neighbors. There is nothing that undermines a white supremacist worldview more than diverse communities getting along and building together towards the future.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's where that comes from, huh? Have we ever covered that? That's where the diversity comes from?
I think we covered some of that in the Saul Alinsky stream.
My word.
But this is the thing. So the term for the whites in Judaism is Esau, who was one of the sons. Oh my God, think of Jacob. Chat. I'm sure someone in the chat will be able to correct me on this, right? But one of the ancient figures in the Old Testament, right? So Esau is shorthand for the whites, as I said. Ishmael, who was like another son, is shorthand for the Muslims. And for ages after World War II, Amalek was the whites, generally speaking, and the way to defeat Amalek was diversity. So, I mean, you tell me, right? I mean, it's straight from the horse's mouth. Also, Deadpool Kid for $2. Sorry, we took a while to get around to that super chat. Deadpool Kid. Tucker, you're not the chosen ones, Ben.
Yeah.
Oh God, I wish he'd fucking say that. I really wish he would just say that.
Why shouldn't someone say that? Is what do you like? Okay, so a lot of things they can play like victims and be defensive, but it's like you're not chosen. That's we need that to be called anti-Semitic.
Right.
We need to hear that in society.
Jack Be Nimble, mate, we have the best chat. Jacob and Esau were the sons of Isaac, son of Abram. Thanks very much. I appreciate that, Jack Benimble. Now, in the last half hour, I want to cover this shishka.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. Okay.
RN Wexler. Now, this is crazy. Okay. Now, what I'm trying to get at is like, where is this all going? Okay. Clearly, the tactics that they're using are not working. How are these tactics going to evolve? Now, it seems like the females of the Jewish community have decided to be like, oh, well, they're just naughty little boys, right? Like, look, we'll talk to them, right? Like, enough of your Mark Levins and your Josh Hammers, right? What they need is a stern talking to from a strong Mooish woman. Mate, I've got to take a piss. I'll just let this play, okay?
Yeah.
I think you deserve help. I think your circumstances are unjust and that you are worthy of sympathy. But you should want to fix your life, not burn the world down out of spite. I get it. Your souls are so whipped raw with rejection and failure that you feel transgression and provocation are all that you're capable of. This is my open letter to the Groypers from a Jewish woman.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm doing
Everyone's
this because
excited
I
for that.
refuse to abandon you. Yes, you, my fellow citizens who are clearly suffering. But let's be quite clear about something to start, okay? Nick Fuentes is a liar. But like all the greatest lies, it starts with truth. If you are one of Fuentes' followers, I'm betting the thing that hooked you wasn't only the anti-Jewish message. I bet you found him funny, which he is. And I bet he said something that resonated with you and felt true to your experience. And I'm not trying to take that away from you. In fact, the right gains nothing by denying the true parts of Nick's message, okay? We look unreasonable and out of touch and heartless. So, Groypers, I agree with you. You are suffering, and that deserves attention, especially if you're young. I also agree. It's not your fault that you couldn't control the fact that you were born in this era, in an era when the cost of living has ballooned, when the older generations have turned
economic
the
issues.
housing market into essentially a crypto scam,
What is this, a
and when college
communist?
degrees are so oversupplied and practically worthless.
So she's like,
economic issues. Like,
we hear you, right? We hear you, young, angry white men, right?
White men.
Obviously, you shouldn't be angry at us, but you should be angry at the social and economic circumstances. I feel like I've heard that phrase before, mate. That's kind of catchy,
Did Nick Fuentes have a response to this by any
Yeah,
chance?
he did. I've got it loaded up and ready to go.
Okay.
While also being vastly overpriced. So you're right to look at the past and sense that this is not normal. And I mean, it used to be that men could have entirely secret second families on a teacher's salary. And now men can't even have main families. And even if they could, what women are you going to have it with? Someone you don't want, or more likely, someone that all of society is saying will never want you. So I hear and I agree with you when you ask how it can be justice that you live in a society where the culture is rigged against your ability to find love or human connection, and the economy is rigged against your ability to own a house or a car or assets of any kind short of a junk meme coin. You're right.
Pause it.
You're right.
So it's just the economy. It's not anyone or group influencing the economy
No, look,
to ensure that Amalek.
Look, I hear this kind of stuff all the time, Artie, and I need to push back, right? The economy is just like this sort of thing out there that sort of floats around completely independently, right? No one controls or influences the economy, right?
That would be a dictatorship.
It's like the Great Spirit, right? Like we should really sort of take a leaf from the wisdom of the American Indians, right? The economy, the Great Spirit flows through the country like water through the buffalo, right? You can't control the economy. What are you, some kind of fucking socialist? Oh my God, I can't believe it.
Yeah, we had to let the economy possibly destroy itself, right? That's a good stable society. There should be no guardrails because then it's socialism.
Well, exactly, right? The alternative, right, to control the economy sort of like in any way, despite the fact that it's already massively controlled if you look at all the laws, right? But to control the economy in a way that would inconvenience certain groups, that's clearly socialism, okay? Also, we got another $5 Australian from Skin. Thank you very much. You think you have the power. The milkers have no power here. During No Nut November, you have even less than nothing.
Right. Right. Wrong month, bitch.
You think your titties give you power over me?
My morality around jerking off revolves around the calendar year, okay?
And you are right to want answers as to how it became this way and who is responsible for this. And what's more, you're right that right now, no one will come to save you. But by the way, that includes Nick Fuentes and sympathizers like Tucker Carlson. I even think you are correct about the fact that America's politics have ceased to be responsible to its people, right? Like, it is clearly rigged in favor of the wealthy and the old and the corporate. So why is it this way? Well, obviously, because money controls politics more than votes do. What that means is that DC is corrupt.
Right. I see where this is going. It's the politicians, the business interests you should be angry at. Fucking hell, man.
Okay, well then who's disproportionately reflected in the fucking business? Like whenever you encourage people to do their own research, it always leads to the same 109th conclusion.
Stop it, Artie. Don't go there, mate. Don't go there.
She's telling me
to. In all of this, you look at the Jews, and we don't seem to have these problems. Actually, people seem to be listening to us less and less these days, but you can't help noticing that we at least have the right phone numbers to call, and you don't. So let's talk about what you clearly believe, that the Jews control everything.
I don't think that's an accurate representation.
This is so you think it's all of us. This is an actual Martin Bailey.
Yes, yes,
exactly.
It's
all of us. Come on.
Exactly.
It's not all of you. It's all of you except for Stephen Miller, okay?
Firstly, if that were true, we would have no reason to care or worry about what you think at all, okay?
Yeah, but you didn't, right? You literally didn't. Like, up until literally 5 minutes ago, you didn't give a fuck.
She's saying that bullshit in the key of having a good point, but it made no sense.
Like, you didn't give a shit. Right? It's only now that like everyone's getting pissed off that you fucking care. Like, oh my God.
Secondly, Zoran Mamdani would not be the next mayor of New York City.
What about
Thirdly,
dude, a ton of moose voted for Zoran Mamdani. Right? We played it last week. There was like
30%.
Like again, right, to reiterate this point, the moose are not a monolith. There is, significant disagreement within the Moorish community on this,
honestly, it's way easier to explain them when we use blacks. Okay, now there's black behavior, right? But isn't there a lot of infighting in the black community? That's exactly what it is. There's Moorish behavior, and there is a lot of infighting, but there's certain traits and behaviors that we all see and know. Oh, so you think it's all black people? It's like that's what you did. Exactly.
Look at that freeze frame. Oh, God. It's like something out of The Ring. It's
like a wide angle lens.
There would be no movement to get rid of test scores in secondary education. Fourth, we would be playing on NBA teams instead of owning them.
Oh, bitch, please.
Wait
Come on.
No, you're the orchestrators. You get other people to do these things. Like what? This is the straw man totalizing of if we really wanted to do everything, then you see us everywhere doing everything all the time. Oh my God.
Yeah. If we controlled everything, like why would there be like any backlash? Like blah 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 blah. And the point is that people are not asserting direct control. The point is influence, right? The point is the ability to guide complex systems by making sure that certain people do not attain or maintain positions of influence.
Like Nick
That's what
Fuentes?
this is about.
You mean like Nick Fuentes?
Right? You don't
like Tucker Carlson?
You don't want to be down there, right? Like doing all the grunt work, like figuring out like how much wheat is going to, Idaho or whatever, right? What you want is the ability to select the people who create the policy that result in those jobs.
And finally, it would always be Short King Summer, okay? You know what I'm talking about. So now you have presumably been educated on John Mearsheimer and Stephen Walt's book, The Israel Lobby. And you think that this book proves that we control everything. Actually,
that's not the argument that Mearsheimer is making.
Everything has to be reductive.
Look, I'm a big fan of Mearsheimer. That is complete.
I don't read. Quick overview.
Well, Mearsheimer's argument basically is that the Israel lobby has crafted U.S. foreign policy, and this is the reason why the U.S. went to war in Iraq and all these other stuff. That the Israel lobby has hijacked specifically U.S. foreign policy. That's what the lobby is about. Mm-hmm. Oh, and of course that they like basically cancel and remove people who disagree with them. That's Mearsheimer's book.
All it proves is that the only reason we have any power at all is because to the extent that the Israel lobby exists, it is a very cheap date compared to the other interests in Washington. Okay? Right? Let's do the math here. Seriously. Aid to Israel amounts to about roughly 0.05% of the federal budget.
Yeah, that's the official number. What's the real number? Right?
Yeah,
Don't tell me that number is honest. And what about all the money sucked out by NGOs and charities, right?
Dark money. Exactly. The money changes hands. It's the same way that they got Alvin Bragg in New York City elected, where the Color of Change was an NGO that said we need $1 million to get him elected. And then George Soros donated $1 million 3 days later. And then, so that wasn't George Soros giving $1 million. There's, as long as it passes through a hand or two, that's enough to have plausible fucking deniability. Not only that, but I love the idea that we send all this money over to it. Like us sending so much money to Israel. A part of that is that Israel can pay off our politicians. So then we're not paying off our own politicians.
Right, but not only that, right? Think of what has happened to America's influence on the world stage since the war in Iraq. Okay. The entire Middle East now hates America because of all this like stuff. Think about the massive refugee flows, all of this stuff, because they seized control, because the lobby seized control of the US's foreign policy machinery and basically made it so that they could get America to declare war on countries in the Middle East. Like the damage is insane. But, let's not mention any of that. Let's just focus on the $3 billion a year or whatever it is.
Compare that to the federally directed largesse enjoyed by the automotive industry or the pharmaceutical lobby or the agricultural lobby or the tech lobby.
You mean making stuff actually for Americans? Yeah. Let's consider that, shall we? Yeah.
Dude, probably the most compelling way to be a fucking cunt Jew to reach out to Groyper is just talk like this. And when you're listening to things that I'm talking, you talk like that. Like, yeah, definitely that's how you talk to him.
I mean, the thing is, right, all of the males are just like harping on, right, and being like psychos like Levin and Hammer, and the women are just being like harpies. There's just no
Hey, can we I know you're not a fan of what she looks like, but can we agree that we should call her JOC?
JOC. That's pretty good. I like it.
Complaining about the government handing out less than a penny to one group while it shovels out $100 bills to everyone else. And that reason is exactly why all these people love directing your attention to Israel, because it distracts you from caring about the issues that might compromise their lobbying money or do literally anything to stop Washingtonian corruption. They think you're too stupid to actually do the math.
Pause it.
Stop.
Oh, yeah, they think.
Remember how like a couple streams ago we were watching the Daily Wire 10th anniversary, and they're like, "We just set up an office in D.C." Like they're almost bankrupt. They're almost out of money. They managed to still set up a fucking office in D.C. for the Daily Wire. Like, bitch, fucking cool it, all right?
Deadpool kid for another $5. Thank you very much, mate. APAC representatives, now for all your generous donations, we'll take you to our private island tours and have an exclusive free massage.
Yes.
Yeah. The other thing that this completely aligns, right? Like just talking about economics, is the incredible cultural and religious framework that they have to control countries like America. Okay. It's not like the Muslims can come in, right, and set up like Muslimo Christianity, right? And start a whole bunch of like, Christian Muslim churches who, think that basically they have to like restore, I don't know, Iran, for Jesus to come back, right? There's just incredible cultural power and frameworks that allow the amount of money that they spend to be amplified much, much harder than any other group.
Falling for it. If you want to see who's getting the money that could sponsor a new industrial policy, we're not the droids you're looking for. There is a whole universe of subsidies and unfair regulations and just other nakedly irrational, heartless policies holding back the kind of unifying and populist economic policy that I know you want. So if foreign aid to Israel were stopped, which I think it should be, that money would just go straight into increasing what those other more powerful lobbies get. I could see the fire you hold in your hearts for us. And I humbly suggest that you try training it on the people who are actually regulating your future out of existence to preserve their present. And once you've eliminated that, if Israel then becomes the biggest subsidy on the books, then we could talk. Okay?
Pause it.
But
I love how she's not naming anyone. She's like, no. There's a shadowy elite. And it's like, yeah, that's who we're talking about, but we can actually name who they are. Like Barry Weiss, people that Nick Fuentes has named. And she goes, no. Go back to just thinking it's a shadowy elite. don't identify them.
These problems are systemic. You understand, right? They're too complex to
it's the fat cats in Washington. Like, what are you,
cats in Washington? Yeah, exactly.
Jive talking in a fucking blaxploitation film from the fucking 1970s.
Now, I hope this is coming up. I think I listened to this when I was out getting coffee. She basically switches to this thing of saying if you should, if you're a repressed white person, right, you really should identify with the plight of the moose, right? Which again goes back to what I was saying about how your interests are our interests are your interests kind of thing. I think it's coming up. I really should have timestamped it.
Even with all that, I understand your resentment of Israel. I do. You look at Israeli society with its optimistic young people and ballooning birth rates and universal military service, and some part of you stirs with the awful thought that all of it exists at your expense because of the foreign aid that we give to Israel. I won't call you anti-Semitic for thinking that. Instead, I'll just ask you this.
You're jealous.
Say it's true that foreign aid made Israel so prosperous. Well, we spend a fortune on other nations, and they don't look like Israel. Why? Could it be because culture and values play a part too? And then perhaps that's also part of the problem for you. You look at Jewish Americans and how much we help each other, how our family units are largely intact, and how we love life. We love life. And
yeah, I mean, this would hit true if there were not literal Muish organizations directly targeting anyone who wants to make white-only communities.
Exactly.
Stuff like that.
If it was a level playing field.
Fuck, dude.
You want that. But more than that, you feel deliberately excluded from it. So much so, actually, that when Nick Fuentes comes along with his fake Talmud quotes and tells you that that is actually what is happening, you choose to believe him.
Pick out a fake one.
Let me be clear. We do not want to succeed at your expense.
I'm pressing X to doubt there, mate.
I want you to have everything that young people in Israel have. That's why I'm recording this. This is not for my own sake. It's for yours. Because in hating us, you cut off your ability to gain wisdom and help from the one people who've been where you are now.
Okay.
Again.
They are the knowers. They are the chosen ones. You have to learn from them. That's the only way you can get by.
They have indigenous ways of knowing,
right?
You might say. Cutting yourself off from ancient wisdom.
And again, for thousands of years. You think you are our enemies? Bubba, after the past 10 years of woke governance, you are us. You see,
Here we go. Yeah, here we go. This is it. You really are us, basically.
once I got myself to ignore all the Jew hate in your rhetoric, I actually noticed a couple of strange things about the way you talk. Firstly, when you talk about Hitler, you always end up describing someone else. And secondly, when you talk about your traits that make you feel alienated from modern society, you always cite traits that historically have been associated with Jews. So first, let's talk about how you see Hitler. Let's talk about how you think of Adolf Hitler. Let's examine what you believe he did, okay? So first, you think he reclaimed the land, which was his people's ancestral birthright. Second, that he saved them from laboring under the rule of malicious foreign powers. 3, that he mercilessly devastated their enemies in pursuit of regaining his people's sovereignty. And 4th, he reunited his entire civilization under one flag and stood up against the great foreign threat that sought to assimilate them. You know what's weird about all of these descriptions? They don't fit the historical Adolf Hitler at all. They sound like you've spliced multiple legendary figures from Jewish history together into one person. Claiming land as a divine birthright sounds a lot less like Lebensraum than like our shared forefather Abraham. Saving and oppressed people from laboring in bondage and mercilessly forcing their enemies to grant them sovereignty? That's more like Moses than
For fuck's sake.
Decode this for me.
So look, she's basically saying, right, that all of the things that the Groypers say that they admire about Mustache Man, right, are actually Muish virtues, right? And that, you know, you're really expressing Muish values of like sovereignty and conquering your enemies and all this kind of other stuff.
They're civilizing the savages, and the Gentiles are the savages.
This is insane. Oh my God, this is so fucking mental.
This is what they believe of themselves.
Yeah, because really, I think in their headcanon, the only sort of like real figures from history are them, right? You notice she didn't like mention shit, I don't know, Julius Caesar or Napoleon or any other sort of like great Western European men of history that you could make these arguments of, right?
Yeah.
Again, it's you know, our interests are your interests. Now, I think that if this goes on, what they might be trying to do actually is do an Alinsky play, okay? So in the same way that like Alinsky went to the blacks in the US and was like, you're an oppressed minority, right? We can help you. Maybe now that sort of young white men have become like a sort of cohesive minority, they're going to do the same thing. They'll like rock up and be like, "Oh, how do you do, oppressed whites? We could help you. We have tactics, right? Like we could start a movement."
This is the play. It's on both sides. It's the kosher centrists are just controlled opposition. So the left, with destabilization and demoralization, provides communism and progressivism. And then the quote-unquote right is giving Moodyism. That's the two options.
But you know what this says, right? The very implication that this tactic could work is an indication of how bad stuff has gotten, right? Because whites are no longer a majority population because of mass immigration. Something that left-wing moves enthusiastically supported, might I add, as we have shown previous in that clip. So if they come along and they're like, well, now that you're an oppressed minority, we love to help you because, you know, we are also an oppressed minority. I think this is going to backfire really, really badly. Big Chris, for $2, thank you very much. I weep knowing my toilet will be chosen. My God, I don't know what that's in reference to, but thank you very much, mate.
It will be chosen. I choose my toilet too.
Barbarossa reuniting an entire civilization against assimilation and foreign false gods. That's not what the Führer did, but that is what the Messiah will do.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Is she trying to get the Groypers to convert or something? Like, what the fuck is this, man?
This is the same thing with Mark Levin, where he's a reformed moo, but listen to how fucking insane he still is. When he said Israel, he said us. Like, is she Orthodox? Like what is she? How do you know anything about her?
No. Nick has some info on it actually. Right. Okay. So that's about as much of this as I can take.
Yeah.
Everyone else I know is just like, I couldn't even watch like a minute of this. So we'll go to Nick.
Punishment.
We're probably going to run over time a little if you're okay with that, Artie. If your nose can hold out, mate.
Powering through, but I'm dwindling.
Okay. So yeah, this is Nick's reply.
We are the new Rome. We don't listen to Jewish cancel culture. We don't listen to Jewish women lecturing us like AnF Wexler. You see that? It's so funny because it's not that deep. Everything that's going on, and you have all these like think tanks and conservative publications and influencers, and they're all trying to understand why I'm popular. Here's why everyone loves Nick. Here's why Nick is popular. Why is this happening? And so I saw AnF Wexler. She's like this Jewish spy. She's like, I think she's a Jewish trust fund kid. Excuse me. And she came on the scene, I don't know, a couple of years ago after October 7th to like, enforce the pro-Israel thing on the right wing. And she's this horse face, ugly girl. I mean, she seems nice enough, but that's like a complex. She's not great looking. If she were hotter, I think she'd probably just not be online. She'd be in Hollywood. She'd be a model. But when you're not that hot, you go into conservative politics. That's the grift. I'll let you in on a little secret. Every woman wants to be a influencer. But to be a female influencer, you got to be pretty hot. If you're not that hot, then you go into conservative politics because that's where all the dorky incel men are, and they have no standards. And they just like to see a girl that agrees with them. So, she's hot enough, I guess. She's okay. Anyway, so I feel sorry for her. I think if she were prettier, not to psychoanalyze, but these disillusioned B-tier women. So
backhanded.
It's like these 7 out of 10s. I don't know why they're doing this. I think that girls like her, why are they doing this? They're doing this because they're not that pretty. Can someone just hook up with her? Can some Groiper Chad just please hook up with her so that she can finally not be miserable? Anyway, AnF Wexler, she's this female conservative Zog influencer, and she does a video addressed to the Groipers. And she says, it's a psychology issue. The Groipers have this psychology problem because we're the disillusioned young men. We're angry. And here comes a Yenta. Here comes a Jewish woman to wag her finger. All right, listen up, young men. I know you guys think you're having fun by saying, all my niggas Nazis, Heil Hitler, but that's not cool. And I replied to her video. I'm like, do you really think this is gonna work? Like, do you believe that? You expect all of us to believe that.
That's
do you
not
believe
what
that?
he said. What did he really say?
You think that what the young men of America.
What he actually said is, hang on a second. He's in the top replies. Here we go. Hey, I know what will set all these young guys straight. A patronizing lecture from a Jewish woman.
70,000 likes, dude, is insane.
Oh my God.
A need is another lecture from a woman, from a Jewish woman about fucking anti-Semitism. And this is what's delicious about it. It's like, it's not that deep, bro. I'm seeing all these articles and video responses, and they all want to psychoanalyze the followers. They all want to psychoanalyze the Groipers and say, and they do this disgustingly patronizing, condescending thing where they say, they sort of put their hands on their lap and they go, hi, little guy.
Oh
I know
God,
you're
right?
really disillusioned and the world is scary, but we don't have to hate Jews or something like that. And it's like, look, it's so not complicated. We don't want to be owned by Israel anymore. Like, it's so not complicated. People are like, it's about video games. It's about porn. It's about whatever, divorce. It's about the job market. It's like, dude, we don't want to go to war with Iran. We don't want to go to war with Iran.
How dare you? How dare you not want to go to war with Iran?
No, it's the problem is the fat cats in Washington that are influenced
Yeah,
by
that's,
Israel.
that's right. That's right.
The
Exactly.
the 250 state legislators that just went to Israel all at the same time. Right.
Yeah. That's clear. The fat cats in Washington. Damn those fat cats.
We don't want to give Israel missiles to kill Palestinians. We don't want people like Ben Shapiro telling us that we can't fucking live in the city we're born in. Like, is this complicated to you? Do we need like a PhD thesis in why I'm popular? 1, I'm really handsome. 2, I'm super funny. 3, I'm all around, like, I think I'm a nice enough guy, right?
Salt in the
But
wound.
maybe 4, the biggest reason is we don't want Israel controlling America anymore. But that's the conversation they don't want to have. They want to have a conversation about everything else.
Yeah. He really is like Tucker, but 30 years younger. He has the passive aggressiveness, but he really ramps up the insults, which is way more my style. Way more in your face with it because we're done being polite. We're done beating around the bush. But an older generation kind of is used to that, kind of wants to be more proper and polite and stuff like that. So it really is a fusion of personality.
Yeah, but politeness only works when you're talking with someone who's actually going to consider your point of view, right? And as you know, as work started taking off, that's why you started getting increasing tone policing, because it just became like a way to just ignore what the other person was like saying. And that's why the discourse is turning much more harsh, because it's basically like, well, you didn't listen to us when we were polite, so now you listen to us when we're impolite, if you know what I'm saying.
If I know what you're saying, have you seen the content on my channel?
Yes, exactly.
What's wrong with our young men? Nothing is wrong with us. Nothing is wrong with us. There's something wrong with you. Like, Aaron Wexler is a Jewish girl who only cares about Israel. Of course you want us to support Israel. You're Jewish.
Okay, right. So I've just got a few more clips left,
Oh, yeah.
right? Okay, so
oh yeah, this is a dream for you.
So where is this all going? Okay, now it has been sort of suggested by some that allowing people like Nick to rise is a deliberate attempt to try and get more moose to move back to Israel because their economy is like shot. That, you know, the war between Gog and Magog is like coming along. There's like the ingathering of the exiles. There's all these like weird sort of beliefs in various strains of Judaism that could be used to support this idea. Now, this guy, Gizal Fleischer, I believe his name is, did this like interview. It's mental, mate. It's really, mate, check this shit out.
We just watched a clip where Nick Fuentes says, "Get the blank out of here." He wants us out. He wants the Jewish people out of America. Now, people like you and I, we actually believe that the Jewish people are being called home to the homeland. We believe that the greatest project of the Jewish people in 2,000 years is the ingathering of the exiles. We've been working for years to help Jewish people consider leaving America and to come to the land of Israel. So isn't Nick Fuentes, in a sense, an unpleasant, but in some ways a welcome change? Isn't he a guy who is out there saying, you don't belong here anymore? You don't belong here anymore. He says he says, that was fun. It was fun to be with you, but we're done. You got to go to your homeland. Is he basically a voice of God? Is he a messenger that's saying to people, okay, you know, the American Jewish Project is over. It had its peak. It was great. And at its peak, it did many great things for the world. It created world stability.
It created world stability. Really?
I just have a quick question.
How do you figure that it was specifically the Jewish American Project that created world stability, not the UN? Like what the fuck is this?
They are the main. We have so many words for things like main character syndrome.
Yeah.
Like, these are all. They really do possess like the least favorable characteristics in humanity, dude. It's main character syndrome, but it's the original one. I just didn't know, first of all, that they made motorcycle yarmulkes. Second of all, how much trouble is he in? Look at how big his hat is, dude. They are getting in trouble. The more trouble they're in, the bigger the hat gets, dude. I'm telling you. We've never seen them so big. You've been studying them for a while, right? These are breaking some records over here.
Huge yarmulkes.
Helped the economy of the world through America. It also helped buttress the Jewish state for a while. But now Israel doesn't need it. It doesn't need American help anymore.
I am pressing X to doubt on that, right? Like I'm hearing this increasingly, actually. So let me get this straight. You're going to prosecute a war against Iran without American help. How? Like literally, how is that going to work? America makes all of your missile interceptors, right? They make like, oh my God, this is just delusional, mate.
And the American Jewish project is now at its, it's already on the other side of the peak. It's already in its downward spiral. And he says he's helping it out. He's saying, like, get out.
A lot of Jews are like, we have to fight the Fuenteses. We have to fight the Tucker Carlsons. We have to fight for the truth. No, at a certain point, I don't know if you remember, when the Jews came after the spy.
Yeah, right. I'm going to pause this here. He's just talking about. Now, there is another narrative developing that I am seeing increasingly, which is this idea that without the moose, America or the West generally will not survive. And this is particularly disturbing because the way it's said always sounds like a threat, right? It's like, again, like a psycho girlfriend, right? I made you from nothing. Without me, you won't survive. Like a psycho girlfriend. It's like, if I was ever to leave you, like you just totally collapse. All this kind of like, psycho.
At least with the psycho girlfriend, she gives fucking world-class head. What the fuck do they do for me?
Yeah, exactly. For real. You're not even getting laid in this situation.
You've issued a stark warning to American Jews. I want to make a warning to somebody else, and that's American Gentiles. The minute your country is taken over by anti-Semitism, the minute you start to be a country that's not blessing Israel but cursing Israel, you have begun the process of shrinking away from your empire. That has happened. I don't think that's theological. That's biological. That's the way the world operates. Every empire that turned on the Jewish people shrank back to its smallness. If it's the Germans and it's the Austrians, if it's the Dutch and the Spanish, and it's certainly a much more recent history, if it's the British who had a giant empire, gigantic, ginormous empire. But when they turned on the Jews, within just a few years, they became the little island that they are today.
What the fuck is this?
That is rhetoric that makes people want to fucking erase you.
Oh my God, dude. That is also just completely historically untrue, right? Yes, that's a threat, right? Merry England was during the time of the expulsion, the Spanish Golden Age, and the stuff that Britain has always been behind the moves, right? Just the fact that they got like a Labour prime minister like literally a year ago and he recognized Palestine. That's not why the UK is in the state that it is in, right?
And what was New York City before they came and had to put a fucking fishing line around Manhattan?
I always wanted to do a PhD thesis tracking throughout history the meccas of Jewish diaspora and then the precipitous downfall immediately following them turning against
the Jews are a channel for blessing in your nation. Okay, if Fuentes is coming out saying get the blank out of here, I hear it. And we have a place, Baruch Hashem, thank God we have our homeland back. Hashem has made great miracles. But
why didn't you go there after it was founded? Why now? Okay, Zionism was such a huge movement, but oh no.
For you, Fuentes.
How huge his yarmulke is, he knows how much trouble they're in right now. This is equivalent to a Gentile having this conversation in like fucking combat armor and acting like everything's okay.
Think that what you're offering is a great offer for America? Do you think that when you cleanse America from Jews, America is going to be a blessed country? Biologically, historically speaking, it will not. It will shrink.
Biologically, what the fuck is he saying there? Right?
It sounds like he's making fucking biological arguments. If I was listening correctly,
I just don't understand what the fuck he's saying. Like biologically, the US will be what the fuck does this even mean? Right? Like
he means intrinsically. He means in its bones. He means at its core.
I mean, what he's basically saying, right, is that in their sort of conception, God is a blackmailer. And if you ever turn on this group of people, he will destroy you. So your entire continued existence as a country rests on continual appeasement and coddling of this one group of people. What the fuck?
not of God, of the people, of the self, right? And isn't that different with Christianity? Where I don't ever hear any Christians tell me to like fucking ball wash Christians. No, they want me to find God for myself.
Yeah.
This is treating the people well. It's very satanic. It's very self-driven.
Yeah. Yeah. Deadpool Kid for another $2. You know, you know what's also biological? Leeches. Disavow. Disavow.
I know. You're always welcome.
007. This is exactly how Islam views Allah as well. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, right. If you ever piss off Allah, your nation is doomed, basically. But if that is the case, why is the West in so much trouble? The West has done nothing but bend over for this group of people, and
they create a problem, and they're the solution. Fancy that.
Yeah, amazing.
And I see it. The American shrinkage has begun. And so that's for you, America. Like you're throwing out, you're vomiting out, you're listening to this guy, you're vomiting out your Jews. It's been done before. And all those places, look at these great cities. Yemen used to be a great, a cultural mecca for Jews. It became what it is today, a crappy little country. And look at Lithuania and all these places. They were once important because the Jews were there. They brought God's channel. They channeled godliness into this world. They brought smartness and innovation and political innovation and
with this
Lithuania
right now,
was
like
destroyed.
Materialism.
Lithuania
feels like,
was... my God. Sorry, go on, mate.
Yeah, this feels like historical materialism. It feels like the Mooish Karl Marx already knows how history goes, and history always goes the same way. And since this happened in history before, then it's going to happen again. You can really see like the Mooish influence into like historical materialism right now is what this feels like.
Yeah, and this point about Lithuania is ridiculous. Lithuania was crushed by the communists, by the USSR. Like the fact that so Vilnius in Lithuania used to be like a very, very Mooish city, like 60% of the population or something crazy like that. And for some reason, right, like I can't figure out why. The local population felt like very, very put out by this. Like probably they were just like racist would be my guess. Fucking hell.
Cultural innovation. You kick them out and you go to Vienna today. I've been to Vienna. Very, very nice city. A shadow, a memory of great times past. Okay? A nice place. They keep it nicely, but it doesn't have the power. The Jews bring the power. You want to kick the Jews out of New York? We got Mamdani. He's going to kick the Jews out of New York. He's going to arrest the Netanyahu. He's going to globalize the jihad. Gesundheit hate, as we say. Good luck. Let's see what happens to your great New York City without us. And I think that there's another aspect of that, which is who will stand with Israel? The nations are to be judged. We know, and Fuentes says truthfully, we will survive. When we're kicked out of America and America, the whole thing is done. The whole American Jewish project is done. We're going to be fine. Within a span of a few hundred years, we went from the Babylonian to the Persian to the Greek and the Roman Empire. We're still here. As Rabbi Berelwein says, that if the people in the past would see who is selling tickets to whose ruins, they would be very surprised. Okay, we're selling tickets to the other people's old ruins. Come and see Case Caesarea and what Rome did in Israel. It's the past. We're still here, so you can fight us. You can curse us. You can put us in ghettos. You can do mass murder. And so what? We're still going to defeat you in the long run at the end, not because of our strength, and not because of our amazing smartness. It's because we're channeling what God wants in this world. And there are many people in Texas and around the world that want to connect to the living Israel, to the rebirth of Jerusalem. They believe that the God of Israel is doing great things, and they want part of it.
Dude. I mean, main character syndrome. The guy. Literally. Like.
I know, but what if, like, Nick Fuentes said that they believe that? I really need, like, a Nick Fuentes AI voice generator to just repeat the exact lines that they say. If someone can get me that for Christmas, I would really appreciate it.
So here's Douglas Murray basically making exactly this same point. He of course is the goodest Shabbos Goy that they have.
Because it would be, among much else, the cutting away of the whole tree that we're on, and Western civilization would die. So I regard the existential threat against the Jewish people to not just be about the Jewish people. It matters deeply to me that it is about the Jewish people. But it also matters to me because it's about America. Could America survive if the Jewish people were no more on its watch? Or everyone was forcibly deported from the Holy Land? Come on.
Just how? Like, why? Right? Like, this is clearly a threat. Like, what is this magical quality that they impart to
Chosen.
America.
Chosen.
It's insane. Okay, right. Let's finish up. I mean, I've got that like weird Zionist guy you really wanted to see.
Oh my God!
You want me to
Yes.
play that?
I want to hack up a lung, please.
Okay.
Okay, wait.
So this is the head of the ZOA, the Zionist Organization of America. Again, he's going on about the Tucker cost. You know, should I just play this at one speed? Maybe?
No. Yes, one speed should do just fine. Now, I need you guys to think of the most stereotypical, offensive, mooish voice that you can think of. Okay.
It should be offensive just to watch this video.
Now, it's not just the accent; it's the noises. It's like a beautiful piece of music. You know, it's the notes that aren't being played that also make it what it is. This is art. You can't convince me otherwise. And I still can't believe that this AI couldn't do a fucking better job than what this guy honestly really fucking sounds like. I still can't believe it.
Unlike most Jewish groups, we the ZOA, we push back against the lies and the hatred, as we always have, by going on TV, radio, op-eds, speeches, on campuses, Capitol Hill, in the courts. We do everything we can. Lately, we have fought against the Heritage Foundation. The Heritage Foundation has embraced Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson used to condemn Pat Buchanan for being an anti-Semite. Do you know that? He used to condemn him. Now Tucker Carlson says that Christian supporters of Israel have a brain virus and they're committing heresy against Christianity. He said, I dislike them more than anyone. He accuses Donald Trump, Ronald Reagan, Ambassador Mike Huckabee, thank you, Secretary of State Rubio, Hegseth. He is accusing them of a brain virus and being heretical to Christianity. It's nonsense. He accuses Americans who fought to support America destroying nukes in Iran as warmongers. And he condemns those, and he says those who fought against destroying the nukes, he calls them peacemakers. But not only does he make terrible statements against Jews himself, he brings on a half a dozen of the most vicious, maniacal, crackpot anti-Semites the world knows.
A minute and 10 seconds. You need to bring it back to a minute and 10 seconds, dude. All right, I'm gonna mute my microphone right now, but no, my fucking neighbors are going to hear me. Okay, give me that fucking phrase. Give me that bar, that melody again.
Okay.
Peacemakers. But not only does he make terrible statements against Jews himself, he brings on a half a dozen of the most vicious, maniacal, crackpot anti-Semites the world knows. These people deny the Holocaust. They praise Hitler as being cool and awesome. They praise Stalin. They attack Charlie Kirk for being pro-Israel. And unlike when he interviewed Ted Cruz, who was very pro-Israel, he attacked Cruz, condemned Cruz, debated Cruz. When these people made these outrageous statements, he suddenly was silent. He either nodded in approval or said nothing, acting as if the people are making valid points, which of course they're just a bunch of crackpot Jew haters. And Kevin Roberts of Heritage called people who criticize Tucker Carlson as venomous people who have another people's agenda. He accused Jews of dual loyalty, another people's agenda, Israel's agenda. It's total rubbish. We went to war against him, op-eds, TV, radio. We said you must retract, apologize, and condemn Tucker. You must end relations of Tucker, or you must resign yourself. Because of ZOA and others, the Esther anti-Semitism program at the Heritage Foundation has now severed all relations with Heritage. They're gone.
The power they have.
And there's an increase.
All right, hold on. Give me 230. Give me 230 again.
You got to do the rewind.
Oh.
Oh my God.
I'll mute myself.
Relations with Heritage. They're gone.
They're gone.
And there's an increased effort to ultimately dismiss this man as well.
Oh my God.
Dude.
Right.
Why did he chuff like a French bulldog? Dude, that right there is the best sex I've had in a long time. Oh my God. My body is reacting like I just ejaculated.
We got a super chat. Mungo McHam Hands for $2. Thank you very much. Mukanda forever.
Oh my fucking God,
Absolutely.
dude. How? What? That's what he really did. He really sounds like that. And that's the people that are canceling you. That's the people that are in charge of your life. That's what they sound like.
It's like Mort from South Park. Is it Mort? Kyle's like really annoying Jewish cousin, the one that like comes over to like
Kyle.
Yeah,
Mort is
no,
from Family Guy.
Kyle's cousin.
Different moo.
Yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna finish off with this.
Oh my God.
This is a really, really good clip from Nick talking about power generally, and then I think we're done. We're at 3 hours 20. Oh my God, fucking mate. It's been a long stream, bros.
Corporate Horse at $100. I'm too old to be a groyper, but I've been binging your stuff lately after seeing clips on Instagram and think I'm roughly aligned. I'm struggling to reconcile the aversion to entrenched power with the desire for a dictator-like right-wing leader. If the problem with the former is misalignment, wouldn't the latter pose the same risk if they turned out bad?
See, that's a dumb question. You think that the problem is the abstract. The problem is the particular. The problem is not that there is power. There will always be power. There will always be a regime. Someone will always have power. They will always use power. Their identity will always color that regime. So the question is not whether there will be a regime. The question is, what kind of regime will it be? And I want the character of the regime to be generally liberal. I don't want to live in a police state. I don't want to live in a totalitarian society. I think that liberty is a part of the political culture of America, and I want to preserve that. With that being said, our regime is controlled by a money power. It is deeply influenced by foreigners, not just Jews, but many foreign-born people, immigrants, people that came here on visas, but it is also quite a few Jews, atheists, cosmopolitans, homosexuals, many, and they're non-Jewish too, many of them, a lot of women. And so their identity colors the type of regime that we have. We have a feminist, cosmopolitan, pro-diversity, globalist regime. We want a regime that is nationalist, that is Christian, patriarchal. So that may be because you're old. An old person might say, the problem is the man. You're always going to have the man. The question is, who is the man going to be? You have an aversion to entrenched power, but you want a right-wing dictator. My aversion is not that there is power. My aversion is what the power is doing. And it's a tale as old as time. It's like saying, you know, my dad is an alcoholic, so no one should have a dad. It's like, no, you want a good dad. You're always going to have dads. There'll always be dads. We need dads, but we want good dads. We want dads that are strong, good, noble, virtuous. And the same goes for government. The same goes for anything. You're always going to have the rich and the poor. You're always going to have the powerful and the powerless. You're always going to have these asymmetries. We just want to have institutions that mitigate excess and abuse. We want to have power that represents the well-being of all the people and society as a whole, rather than certain parts of it. I think our system is good for that. I think that the founders were brilliant, but look, we've changed the system a lot since then. The world has changed a lot since then. It's time for a refresh. That's my opinion. Yeah, that's like a big hurdle for a lot of boomers to overcome. They're like, these libertarians. Well, don't you think we should just shrink government? It's like, no, someone will always be powerful because there's asymmetries in information and IQ, and all the old are more powerful than the young, right? Like all these things contribute to hierarchy. Hierarchy is always going to be there, and can't get away from that at all.
Yeah, and I think that's a really excellent point there by Nick. There is always going to be power. The question is, for what purpose is that power exercised? And if you are ruled by a bunch of people who are not like you, whose interests are antithetical to your interests, then you're going to be ruled badly. And the ruling class of most of the West, they have no love for the people that they rule over, like just none at all. And that is why it's creating like such bad outcomes. Big Chris for another $2. That guy totally doesn't hang out at kid parks. Disavow.
I welcome it. I don't. I avow it.
And I think that's it, bros. Thank you so much for coming along. Should we just say thank you to all the super chatters?
Yeah, I need to rest desperately.
So thank you very much to Big Chris, Mungo, McHamhands, Deadpool Kid, Skin. Who else we got? Deneska, Soul on the Lich, King Solo Wings. Thank you very much. Theodicy Ninja, Ghost of Pinochet, Big Time, Slosher. Who else we got in here? Christos, Ardent Party,
we got
Dawson
two that came
Harper.
in. We got a new blood.
Total Blackout Painting, of course, was very, very generous with the memberships, as was Christos. And I think Waffle is in here as well. Jillybod and Waffle, of course, spreading the love with the memberships. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Oh, wait a second. Did we get another one? We got, mate, slipping in at the last moment. The new GM for $10 US. I feel like the Anakin Skywalkers want violence against them. I think they want Germany 2.0, so they get to make a new trilogy. What they actually fear is self-reliance and indifference to them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, you might be right there.
That was very insightful.
Yeah. I mean, some people have made the point that because sort of conflict and persecution is such a deep part of their history, that perhaps they seek to create these kinds of like situations. I don't know. But yeah, thank you very much for the super chat, mate. So yeah, any last words there, Adi?
I banged out 2 videos this week for you guys and a stream, and I was apparently supposed to be resting. This has been following me since Monday, so I actually need to take a couple of days off apparently because your boy is floating right now. But fellas, I very much appreciate it.
Pray for Adi, bros. Even though he's an atheist, pray for him. He's a bit.
You only heard when I was unmuted. You don't hear what I did, and I think I actually fucked up my voice from laughing so hard. So I really appreciate it, fellas. Thank you.
All right, we'll be back next Friday. We might do an emergency stream depending on how it goes and whether Artie manages to find his lung. Look, check under the desk, mate. I hear they like to hide.
Moving forward, so we're always gonna do the Friday stream, but we might have like a floating day for a second stream.
Yep.
Really, just depending on what's going on. If, like, for example, if if there was like something that had just like if that Tucker video had like just came out, we could even just like watch something as it just came out. Do you know what I'm saying? Where me and you haven't even reviewed it yet. So the Friday ones are more planned out, but I want to do like a floating day where if something happens and if we're available to be able to do just a more impromptu, less planned out stream.
Okay, brilliant. All right. Good night, everyone. Take care. And thank you to all the super chatters. Good night, bros.
Thank you, fellas. Appreciate it.